Let's see how it all goes. Can I get a sound test, everyone?
Testing.
That is
Wow.
working! Oh, wow. It's amazing. I'm slowly getting better at this whole thing. Slowly. We'll take it, though. Every little bit counts. Hey, the world. Welcome to the Sagas of the Shimmering Sea, the assassination of Primarch Magli Blackice. This is our Monday TV show where a person attempts to become a dictator of a country, and our intrepid heroes attempt to prevent him from becoming a dictator of a country, and all that good stuff. Woot woot. We'll see how that works out for them. Um, let's see. Last week we started very very tense, and this week we're going to start sort of low key and less intense, which is interesting. Last week we let's adjust some sizes here. Last week we started with everyone sort of in the middle of their uh, investigation, searching through a place called the Seas Embrace. The Seas Embrace is both a shipping company as well as a shipbuilding company. And they discovered some creepy things about the Seas Embrace. There's at least some weird things about the Seas Embrace. They were, most importantly, shipping animals, which is weird. Whether it was legal or not is a little bit unclear, but certainly they were shipping a foxfolk, and that is definitely illegal because foxfolk are people. Um, and let's see, and also they were sort of building like submersibles, which is an unusual thing. That's a weird thing to have happen, and a little bit unusual. So we'll see how that all, whether that amounts to anything. Unfortunately, they did not find evidence that tied this place to the Seas Embrace to anything to do with Primarch Magli Blackice or anything like that. But they did all escape happily and with their lives and with some more information than they had before. So all steps in the right direction. Things could have gone worse, absolutely. They caused a riot, or a stampede, I should say, of animals. A riot would be people, stampede would be animals. That's the distinction I'm making, and I'm sticking with it. They caused the stampede, and the weird people of the news were told by the spokesperson for the Seas Embrace that a masked person with a pointed mask snuck a bunch of animals into the Seas Embrace and then set off the stampede to destroy the Seas Embrace's reputation or something like that. You guys obviously know that to be false. The person that the newspaper described was in fact an illusion, a silent image that was built by Juniper. So now we have regathered ourselves and are sort of figuring out what's next. How do we make this move forward? How do we figure out what we're going to do and accomplish what we're going to figure out? So we are inside the Soulwood Tavern. The Soulwood Tavern is named because it is made, or rather, the bar is made out of soulwood, which is a magical wood from the Suneran forests that prevents divination spells or perception spells and things like that. So it is a good space for secret meetings. You guys have a secret back room, and I think the camera comes up on you guys planning. Let's do, just for refreshers and for new people, let's do a quick descriptor of your character and also what your character says in this planning session right now. The camera pans up and we see each of you in turn. So Juno, what is Juno saying in this planning session right now? And who's Juno?
Um, I'm Gina. It says
Oh,
Thomas, but I'm
oh,
Gina.
oops. I can
Um,
hold on. Let's fix that. Voila! Almost. Oops. Too much. You can
oh my
speak.
god.
Let me fix things.
Sorry.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Um, so yeah, Juno is a foxfolk wizard who is wearing like just a step up from baggy sweatpants. She's wearing the dress version of baggy sweatpants at this point, is not looking too hot. And she's kind of sitting a little bit in the back because, you know, the last time she was involved in a plan, she kind of magic missiled a door and started a stampede of animals. Um,
Like you do.
yes. So I'm just going to be like, well, I think the plan to have the talking dragon thing that you have, and I'm gonna look at Thomas. Go through go through the Seas Embrace is probably the best plan. You know, less people in there, less likelihood of setting fire to the place or starting another stampede of something.
And then our camera pans over to look at Thomas. Thomas, what do you look like? Who are you? And what do you say?
Thomas is a human male, 69 years old, kind of light brown skin, long wavy silver hair, purposely coiffed beard, lots of grandma jewelry, nursing a mimosa, because they're in a bar. He has a small purple dragon perched on his shoulder. They are new acquaintances, what folks in the business world might call future friends. And as it was kind of his suggestion, his feeling where we left off last time, that sending the dragon Mercury in would, to do another scan might be helpful before they reported back. He says, I still feel that this would be beneficial just to cover up bases. Obviously, just a quick in and out, not try to retrieve too much unless it's very portable. How does everyone feel about this? I don't want to risk our necks over a hunch.
And the camera pans towards Sawin.
Yeah. So Sawin is a tiefling, young man in his early 20s. He's got orange skin that has like black marbling on it, black sclera, and green irises. And Sawin goes, well, I learned how to make a disc, if you will, since the last time we met, that can carry quite a few pounds. So in the event that we cannot carry it ourselves, I can conjure this disc and we can put stuff on it and vacate the premises.
And then the camera pans down to Kaz. Kaz, tell us what you look like and what you say.
Kazan, or Kaz, is a tall, striking human Aasimar who has tan skin with kind of gleams of gold undertones, hazel-colored eyes, and long, curly, dark auburn hair that's tied into a loose braid over her shoulder, and she's wearing loose teal robes over armor that's kind of cinched at the waist with a golden belt. And she says, well, I'm on board with whatever plan we have, and we also still have the other lead, which is me disguising myself as Randall the hobo again, and checking on that halfling fellow who is named
Hubert Songshore.
Hubert Songshore.
Oh, and you can also open the window so that the dragon can get in, because you're allowed in there.
I am allowed at the bottom. I guess I could figure out a way to get up there, perhaps, depending on when we go. But yes.
Or I can mage hand a window open.
Or that. Either way.
Well, I can knock from 160 feet away. The issue, as you've said, would be getting the window open once it was unlocked. The disc could come in handy. It's a bit flashy, but if we absolutely had to get something out of there, my question is, could you enchant it to follow Mercury around without having a visual fix on the disc?
Let's find out, because I've not actually used this spell before, just as a person. So,
that's quite a concept for practicing.
Yeah. Okay, so unoccupied space you can see. Oh, it has to be like 30 feet away from me. but it can carry, up to 500 pounds.
Nice.
And it's 3 feet in diameter, and it floats 3 feet off the ground.
It sounds exceptionally helpful as long as you're within 30 feet of it. I'm
Yeah,
sure there's a lot we
basically.
can
Can
do.
you stand on it?
I can stand on it.
So, like, it's basically, like, supervillain fly, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's
I
great.
love this. I love it already.
Plus, you can carry your luggage.
Oh my god, this is so helpful.
Yeah, this is the other hilarious thought I had was putting Juniper's illusion on Tensor's floating disc and making it float
Oh my god.
float away. But I have to be in 30 feet of it. So that like poses problems.
Is it a concentration spell?
It is for a whole minute.
There. This
I wish
might
it was
be the
longer.
spell that I would choose.
No, I'm sorry. It's for an hour. I'm sorry. The
Nice.
disc is around for an hour.
Okay.
This might be the spell that I would choose in the real world.
Oh,
Because I don't really have a desire to like disintegrate anyone or anything like that. And Wish is too much responsibility. I think I might choose Tensor's floating disc. Okay.
So a quick question. I'm sorry. It's a mechanic question for me because you've made changes to how
True.
Tiefling works.
Okay. Not that many though for you, right? They're all from. I mean,
Well,
they're
it's
colored
just
differently, but
that-
they're the same from. But keep ask away.
Yeah, so we got rid of thaumaturgy, and I think the hellish resistance to like fire damage in favor for the mage hand cantrip and then the floating disc.
Mhm.
That's
That's based on your color. Those are all based on. Those
Right.
are from.
right,
what's it
but
called?
is that
Um,
does that count, or like it's just one of the spells I know and I still have the same number of spell slots?
oh no, you can cast it even without a spell slot. Just
I
like
can
all other tiefling spells.
Oh, so
Yeah,
like I
it's-
could do this.
It's like once per day, I think, or something like that. I don't know. I'd
yeah,
have to double check.
yeah, it's once per
But
day.
it's from Mordenkainen's, so we can Mordenkainen, whatever. Mordenkainen's.
Okay.
It's in there. I didn't homebrew that much. I
Okay.
just made it look
No,
like
I was just
homebrewed a lot.
curious because I was like, I only have X
Okay.
many spell slots, but I don't.
No, I'm pretty
I
sure.
didn't know
I'm
if
pretty
it
sure it's
counts.
once per day. No, because you would have the same ability if you were a fighter. So I don't think it counts against your spell slots.
Okay. No, that's good. All right. That sounds good. I just wanted to check
Absolutely.
before I like go to use it and then find out later that I'm down a spell slot.
Totally understand. Yeah.
Because I've done that before. I did not ask the questions when I needed to ask questions, and then I was angry later. So
Totally understand.
No.
Totally approve. Gotta ask the questions. Gotta make sure you know what's going on. Always good. Okay. So, do we have a plan, or do we have two plans? Do we have a half a plan? Do we need more clarity? What's going on?
We have about 2 days until we're supposed to report back. If we wanted to burn a day and have Kazan in disguise trailing this halfling, we would. I think it would be beneficial overall, and we can use the interim night to, from its incredibly safe and reasonable and self-preserving distance, observe the dock and see what kind of security they have, and then she'll have an extra day to do that reconnaissance, and then we all circle back the following evening, if this pleases everyone.
It sounds good to me.
Yep.
Okay.
are we okay with letting Kaz go by herself to put up post to this gentleman's house, or should I take my little tarot gig on the road?
I mean, I'm going to be pretty inconspicuous. I'm supposed to just be sleeping kind of in the area, not trying to start any conflict. I feel like that might draw a lot of attention to yourself. Setting up right there.
Wouldn't have to be right there, but I could be in the neighborhood.
What do we know about the street that this house is located on? Is it strictly a neighborhood district for whatever semblance of an upper middle class Racy has? Or is it possibly located on a street with a little more going on?
Yeah, why don't you roll a, I guess we'll call it a history check. That seems reasonable.
Since they've eradicated knowledge local.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Thomas,
Hey, oh, there it is. Thank you.
you simply must meet Thomas. Okay.
Oh, wait, what?
Spells.
Well, no, it would be a
Oh, right.
Skill.
3. Thank God, intelligence.
Yeah.
Eh,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you've ever been to this neighborhood. It's not a really famous neighborhood or anything like that. It's a decentish neighborhood. Maybe some shops like down the street from it or something like that. There's probably like a central corridor that has some shops on it. But
Well, we
the
could-
residential houses are a little bit further out.
I guess we could find out as much by walking down the street.
We could like arrange for some of us to just randomly walk by on business, every now and then, just make sure Kaz is doing okay.
This is true.
Could always give Randall some food.
I'll make sandwiches. I'll make sandwiches. What sandwiches do you like?
That sounds
Oh,
wonderful,
all
darling.
kinds of
Have you ever?
sandwiches. Kind, fine.
Okay.
Randall's not picky.
No, not at all. Little
Okay.
cucumber sandwiches.
All right. I'm gonna get sandwiches.
Sounds delightful.
I got my plan. I'm good.
All right. Well, now that we've got sandwiches secured,
I mean, while
Uh,
Kat's doing that, I can go back to the docks and set up the
Okay.
chair stand there. If Juniper's gonna
there's-
check on her.
if there's any kind of a cafe or like a small tavern or a little shopping area, Thomas might post up at that to be close enough to Mercury to have Mercury keep an eye on Kaz from the rooftops.
Okay, got it. So we're gonna break into two groups. Yeah, is that the plan still? So this time Juniper and Sawan, and Kaz and Thomas. Is that correct?
No, it's
Oh, sorry.
3 and 1.
3 and
It's
1.
3 and 1.
Oh, well, actually, all right. If Dragon Baby and Thomas are going to be with Kaz, don't be offended. I might just leave a sandwich with you that you can give to Kaz, and I might bring the rest of them to Sawin because we don't want anyone to be like alone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, that's what I'll do.
Okay, so now it's crisscross. I've got Juniper and Sawin and Kaz and Thomas. I think I did that.
Changing it up.
Whatever. Whatever. Okay, excellent. Splitting party. Love it. All good things. So let's start with Kaz and Thomas. I'm heading up to check out this sort of upper middle class neighborhood and whatnot. What guises are the two of you going in?
So question. We were talking about tieflings having their inherent spells, but does disguise self still cost a spell slot?
Do you have no, of course not. It would be a once per day thing.
Okay, just checking. Cool. Good to know.
I think I might if you have need, I would allow you to recast it for a spell slot, but the first time would be free.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
Yeah, same would go for you,
Alright.
Selwyn, obviously. Okay, yeah. So, what guises are you guys going in? Are you going as yourself and then transforming when you're there, or are you going as someone else? I don't know. Tell me what's going on.
Well, Kaz is going as her Randall disguise, just a old human with a disheveled beard, wearing a cap and some ratty clothes.
And Thomas, you're going with Kaz. As yourself?
He's going adjacent to Kaz.
Got it.
Also, he'll never admit it, but Randall makes him feel just so uncomfortable. It's like a mirror version of himself, and he absolutely hates it.
I love it. That's fantastic. I love it.
But he's just looking for, like, if there's a place on the street that might sell kombucha or something, he's going to chillax and kind of try to stay. I mean, he's going to basically give Mercury some instruction beforehand. He's going to say, all right, feel really here to help. We had this idea. You had the whole thing. Obviously, I don't know why I'm telling you this now. Keep an eye on the street from the rooftops, and
Sure,
every
boss.
15 or so, swoop back in range and let me know what's going on.
Sure. No problem, boss. Yeah, there's like a main street that's like it's not super busy, but it's got like a couple of restaurants in there. It's got a couple of coffee shops. It's got a kombucha shop. It's got a grocery store type thing, sort of like a little local market, and some like knick-knack shops and things like that. It's reasonably middle class, nothing too expensive, nothing too inexpensive. It's like, so that's like the long street, and then off of it, going sort of up a hill slightly, are residential neighborhoods, so people can sort of be close to it, but not that. And this guy's on the first block off of that, but it's still like 12 houses down or whatever. So it's definitely like a little bit away, but not a long way away.
How old is this house when we get within like viewing distance of it? Is it a very old house? Is it a newer house? How long has it been here?
Yeah, roll a history check.
A lot of history checks up in here.
You ask historical questions.
Oh God, worse than the last.
Yeah, I mean, what you really can tell is that it's super clean. There's not really a lot of signifiers in the architecture to place it in a time period specifically, but it is super clean, and very like just washed recently, is I think what you would say there with the 9 in your history check.
Okay.
So Kaz, you're just gonna hang out there?
Yeah, somewhere where I have eyesight, or I'm able to see who's going in and out without being too close. Not necessarily having to be able to hear, just to be able to write or note who's going in and out.
Yeah. Okay, I want you to roll a perception check.
Alrighty.
And Thomas, you are down the block at the kombucha shop. Sound good? Okay. Nat 20. Awesome.
That's as good as I could possibly do.
Nat 20 minus 2 is 18. I'll take it. Got that low wisdom. Gotta love it. Excellent. Yeah, so you're there for about maybe 10 minutes when you see 3 people showing up. They're all together, and they're all chatting, and they're all wearing like the same, I don't know, like pale orange, not like bright orange, like traffic orange or something like that, but like pale orange, like tunics, that are kind of ugly, but clearly are like a uniform, and they all have like embroidered on the back, a like little lizard head that's smiling and like is holding a wooden spoon, and it's just like smiling very broadly, and they're all human. And they're just sort of chatting and whatnot, and they walk up to the front door, and they knock on the door, and the door opens, and they just go in. One of them's got like a bag under one arm, another one's got like holding several pots and pans, and a third one's holding like some veggies, and like casually starts juggling them as they walk, and they all sort of head in.
Like shifting them from arm to arm, or literally juggling?
No,
with
literally
them?
like casually juggling them. Just like I'm bored and walking down the street, so I'm gonna juggle some veggies. And like you see the other two like.
I think we've all been there.
If I could juggle, I would do that all the time. And you see them doing this, and you see that the other two like people seem nervous about this, but the one who's juggling is just like, I don't care, whatever, who cares? Juggle some veggies, make it happen.
Are
don't
they
know how to juggle.
potatoes?
This is the universal symbol for
Oh
juggling.
no.
Are they
baby.
potatoes?
Yeah. Are there potatoes?
The people need to know.
No, there are no potatoes.
Oh, that's understandable.
There's clearly villainy at work here.
Okay,
Interesting.
so that's what I see within the first 10 minutes
Mhm.
of being there?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yep.
well, then I suppose I would continue watching
Mhm.
up until my disguised self runs out in 15 minutes.
Yeah. And so you see people moving around inside the house. It's a little bit difficult to get a good angle, so you can't really see super clearly everything that's going on. But every once in a while, someone will open a window, and you see like this amount of steam just come out of one of the windows, very heavily. And as this is happening, you also notice that a small purple dragon gets like a face full of the steam and flies off away.
He's extremely exfoliated.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh yeah, get that steam mask.
Flies to
Yeah.
check back in with Thomas and say, nothing's happening.
All right, she should be
Well-
wrapping up soon, but head back up and we'll try it again.
You got it, boss. Turns around and flies back. And there you are watching. And I think it's got to be right near the end of your time there. And I'm going to let your natural 20 ride here. When you see something that may surprise you, you see a very well-dressed man with a black goatee and a black mustache and slick back, short black hair, just walking towards the house. He's got a small wrapped package under one arm, and trailing behind him are 4 bodyguards, members of the City Watch. And this is Primarch Magli Blackice. And he walks up to the front door of the house that you are watching and knocks on the door. And the door opens, and you see one of the orange-robed people bow politely to him and escort him into the house. The guards post up outside. One of the guards makes a quick look around the street and sees you in your disguise and just sort of casually walks over to you, Gaz, and says, hey, fella, you listening?
Yes, can I help you?
Yeah, just move along. This isn't a good neighborhood for today. Yeah? Go find somewhere else.
Absolutely. And I run, or I casually walk, hoping my disguise holds until I can duck into an alleyway.
And he says, hey, hold on.
Yes.
And he reaches down and grabs something from his pocket and pulls it out and looks at you. For luck. And he flicks a coin at you.
Damn it!
Okay.
Shades of
Can I
grey.
catch it? Can I catch it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I just catch it. Cool. Oh, thanks. And then I definitely run as fast as I can.
And he turns around and heads back in. And you are gone.
I'm gonna have to
Meanwhile,
murder that fool later.
back at the docks, Juno and Samhain, what's the plan here?
Well, I'm just gonna set up shop where I've done previously, unless somebody's gonna stop me. And me making note of like how much, I guess, how much guard presence there is after the break-in.
Yeah, roll a perception check to see if you spot any hidden guards.
Plain clothes cops.
Not a thing. 13. Why do you have
13.
advantage?
I
Oh,
forgot
you
to
just stretched
toggle
it.
it off.
Great.
Yeah, no, I
Awesome.
forgot to
That's fine.
toggle it off.
No worries. 13. Yeah, there is definitely more guards. You'll noticing that there are some now standing next to the side entrance where you were sort of set up before-ish, and where you saw people like coming in with the knock pattern. That's now changed. You're in a position to see that that's changed from just a knock pattern to a knock pattern and get past 2 guards. And then there's also, you notice, a person holding a longbow on the roof.
Jinkies. Okay. Yikes. All right. Well, all right then. No shenanigans today.
No, guess not.
I need to check on one more thing. Sorry, I actually forgot to do this. My bad.
Yeah.
Thomas, is Mercury hanging out to watch after Kaz leaves to see if anyone else attends?
Yeah, I think he's going to exploit this a little longer, but if Mercury circles back again, he's going to advise him to be a little stealthier.
Okay, yeah. Can you roll a stealth check for Mercury?
I don't know, can I? I don't know what Mercury's stats are. Oh, God.
Oh,
I'm
I can pull that
prepared.
up. I've got pseudo-dragon stats somewhere. We may adjust them for Mercury specifically.
Do I
of
just
course.
roll a d20 then?
Yeah, why don't you roll a d20? I'll tell you what that is added to.
Ugh.
Oh,
Oh,
that stealth be bad.
I mean, he is a
Agree.
purple small dragon.
Yeah, and it's not like dragons are exactly, shall we say...
I like the
In
idea
fact,
that he was
no
like,
one has ever
okay,
seen a dragon
stealthy.
before.
And he like hung out with a bunch of like ravens or pigeons or something. He's like, this is perfect.
So, actually, to be fair, remind me to send you this stat block, and we're gonna mess around with this a little bit, I think. So that it's
I found some pseudo dragon stats. I just wasn't sure if they were the ones that you wanted to use.
Well, I've got the 5e standard ones, which would be our baseline.
Okay, that may be what I found, but just in case.
Yeah, but I want to change it so that it scales with your level, because that's sort of a companion thing that I like to do.
Scales.
Yeah, +4 on stealth rolls, so that's actually a 7.
Oh boy, now we're cooking with gas.
Yeah. Okay, and you guys are new to each other, yes? Okay, so so he does not know everyone that you know, nor do you know everyone that he knows. Excellent. Good to know. Excellent. Okay. So he sees some stuff. And flies back to you. Maybe 15 minutes after the hour. And says, looks like a meeting, boss. There's some people who are all gathering there.
How many people would you say?
I saw 4 people enter. Not to mention the staff.
Generally what you reported before.
Well, 4, not the guards, just 4 actual people.
4 additional people. Didn't anyone exit the building?
No one's exited yet, but it looks like they're having a meeting. Some of the guards spotted me, and one of them threw like a thing. I don't think you could tell what I was, but it was. I don't know. He threw a rock at me or something like that, and so I flew off.
Were you followed?
No.
Insight check.
Yeah, roll an insight check.
On your own pseudo dragon.
Look, sometimes when you start a new job, you want to, make sure that your supervisor knows that you're doing really good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
23. Yeah, as far as he knows, he wasn't followed. He's a pseudo dragon, so it's sort of hard to read the signs or whatever. But yeah, he doesn't seem so.
Well, Thomas has been nursing this kombucha for an hour, A, because he needs to pass the time and act like he has an excuse to be there, and B, because I hate kombucha and can't make him drink it. So he's going to kind of push it away from himself and leave the silver piece and be like, all right, let's head back to the
Well, would I catch Thomas on the way there?
Yeah.
I would want to meet up with him afterwards.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So you guys meet up.
So, theoretically, if Kaz was circling back right after her disguise wore off, Mercury might find them both there.
Yeah, that's very likely. Yeah, in fact, definitely. So Mercury comes to you and Kaz, I'll say.
Okay.
And,
Well,
yeah.
Does it
telling you
look
what's
like anyone is paying us a lot of attention?
Nope.
What? I would tell Thomas everything that I had seen, and then I would ask Thomas, how much do you know about the city watch here?
How much do I know about the city watch here?
Yeah, I mean, what do you want to know, Kaz? I'm sure Thomas knows it.
I
I don't think that's a
I don't know what kind of information I'm hunting for. I guess I'm trying to say, do you think I could reasonably pass off as a city watch if I casted Disguise Self on myself again, and then I could go up there and maybe switch out one of the guards and try and figure out what's happening in there with Magli Blackice? Having a
Were they city guards that we saw?
Being on the
Yes.
city watch myself.
Thomas thinks about that for a moment.
And as Thomas considers that, we're going to cut our camera back to Sawan and Juniper. Sorry, I just didn't want
Well, I did have a response for him, but
I know, but while Thomas considers that, we're going to cut our camera back.
Okay.
Just
Right.
I missed some stuff. So back to Sawan and Juniper. Sorry, guys. Yeah, that's what you saw in your perception check, Sawan, right? The guards and the archer. Any plans from here, though, Juniper, Sawan? Any thoughts?
I'm going to walk along the boardwalk just a little bit, kind of like, I've got my book with me, which is actually a really like well-worn dictionary. I've just got under my arm, and I've got a little like basket, and just kind of look like I'm having a nice stroll at night. And I don't know. I think Sawan's already done the perception checks, but would I be anywhere near? Like, would you be able to see the water over where the submersibles are?
Yeah. So that's what you're wanting to check out. You want to see what's over there?
Yeah,
That's
I
what
want
we
to
do.
see if there's any movement or any changes to
Yeah,
what
absolutely.
it looks like.
Yeah. So you start heading in that direction.
What I do in
Yeah. Why don't you make an investigation check?
those are Thomas's stats.
okay, we get to Juniper then.
Any day now, guys, I'm gonna get my Chromebook fixed. I swear to God.
It's gonna be awesome.
We're all excited.
Sorry.
No worries.
Okay, that's my investigation.
A natural 20 for a
Hella.
26. Yes.
Woo, woo.
There
Alright.
is in fact change. That's fantastic. You guys are rolling really well. That's fun. There is in fact change. The wall that sort of protected the dock area, that sort of that immediate area, used to be a little bit further back, but there are construction workers working on it right now to extend it forward so that it will be harder to see into that area. Right? It used to be that someone could sort of pass by along the coast, and like it's a private dock for the ship Season Brace, but you could like get like in that area and you would be able to see into it. But they're now extending walls out so that no one will be able to see in.
Oh,
And there's
okay.
construction people working, so they've set up a situation for that. I'll give you 2 questions that you want to ask, though, if you want to ask any questions because of a natural 26.
Okay. Is there? So the walls would probably be blocking the water,
Mhm.
correct? So I wouldn't be able to see into the water. Are there any lights coming from nearby? Like underneath almost?
Yeah,
Because they'd have to have light to work from.
yeah, absolutely. In fact, there are. There are several small strands of light that sort of they sort of aren't behaving the way you think of light typically behaving. They're not like outward, like they're not like global or round. They look like beams of light, which is uncommon in this world.
Okay. And it's very interesting. And would you say that, let's see, she wouldn't know enough about the ocean to know that. Never mind.
That's
There's
my
something
question,
that I would, yeah, there's something that I would maybe know, but she would.
I mean, you could have read something in a
Because-
book
Yeah, that's true.
if you have a question.
Has there been like, movement underwater and the movement of like ships and people around the water and around docks tend to stir up the silt at the bottom of the, at the, I guess, ocean floor? Is there a sign of that kind of movement? Like those
Yes.
submersibles have been moved, or things have been moved around?
Yes, there's been lots of movement. The silt is very upset. It's scattered throughout the water. There's definitely lots of dirt in the water in various factions, and it's much thicker than you remember last time you were here. It's sort of a slightly deeper area of the sea than like some coastal places, right? Because it is a ship dock, and they do dock ships there. But even with that knowledge, it's definitely like the silt is definitely kicked up pretty dramatically.
Okay, gotcha. So with that knowledge, thank you.
Of course.
With that knowledge, I think Jennifer is going to, before she gets too close to the wall, because she does not want to be stopped by any guards, is going to glance over at Samhain and, do that whole like double take of, oh, there's a person here. Oh, how quaint. And just kind of stride on over, swing in the basket a little bit, and just plop down in front of Samhain and kind of like whisper, hey, and then be like, so what are your rates?
How many people are standing near me?
There are a couple you just finished a reading, and another reading.
Yeah, did Juniper just cut in
King.
line?
But
Yeah,
but
that's
you sort of have this thing where you have like a crowd of people, and then one steps forward, right? Rather than like a line that's formed in some way.
okay.
They're sort of treating it like it's a spectator sport. A lot of people stop by and like step up just to say, "Hey, I was at the show the other night. You were great. You were so wonderful. I had such a good time. I brought my son with me, and he told me that he really wants to take up music. Yeah. Do you know anywhere where like he could get some lessons or something like that?"
Oh.
Depends on what he wants to learn.
Well, I mean, I really liked what you were playing, the fiddle, but he's always been partial to I don't know, I don't know what you call it. It's like a cranking instrument of some sort or something. I don't know, but he's always liked it, and like you hold, I don't know how it works, but there's a street performer who performs it sometimes, and he always watches that very closely.
The thing that you crank sometimes. Okay, this is just out of character. What the fuck?
Oh, he's talking about a hurdy-gurdy.
Isn't it an accordion?
No, it's a
Or like
hurdy-gurdy.
A hurdy-gurdy?
Yeah. Sorry, music.
Oh my
music
God.
I
checks.
was like, did he just use the wrong word for
Nope.
like maybe
This is the
just
most
like go
supportive father in the universe.
Mother, but that's okay.
Mother.
Parent.
I'm kidding.
Um,
on my feet.
Yeah, so back in character now. I can be available to give him lessons if he's interested.
Oh, really? Oh, that's so generous of you. I never would have imagined that you have the time. Of course. Well, I'm gonna go get him an instrument, and we'll come back tomorrow. Will you be here tomorrow? Or where should we meet you, or what should we do?
I can always make myself available to you. I can go wherever you are. I'm not beholden to one place, and I don't think that
That's
a busy
wonderful.
dock. I don't think that a busy dock is necessarily the best learning environment to teach a child an instrument,
Of course.
as there's too many distractions. So.
Yeah. Well, and she like gives you her address, and you guys arrange a time for you to stop by.
What does she look like? Is she a lizard folk
No,
woman,
she
or
is
she's
not.
human?
She is a dwarf. She is a dwarf, and she has a dwarven son.
No, it's gonna be so cute. Okay, I'm done. Yeah, no, I'll.
So she like thanks
Give
you
her
and
s-
bows and thanks you and bows, and then
yeah.
like turns and walks away. And then,
Your name,
like
miss?
stops and says, "Oh, he's gonna be so fun. He's gonna be so excited."
Your name and your son's name, miss?
Oh, his name is Joshin.
Love it.
And
He's just Josh.
my name is Ari Laka.
Arilaka.
Yeah, it's a family name. You know, I'm Chalestrin, but my mother was very into Aberakian culture, so.
I completely understand. My father's named after a Prion god, so I get it.
Yes, you understand. Well,
And so like I give her a little bow as she like walks away.
So she very excitedly sort of walks away, waddles away a little bit, and as she walks away, Juniper walks in. Walks up.
And you know, I probably saw her walking away, but I probably didn't hear all of the conversation. No.
Mm-hmm.
But it looked adorable. Like I'm sure she noticed and was like, "That's super cute. That's a super cute kid." And a mom who seems to really like her super cute kid. That's awesome. You know, so she's kind of smiling a little bit, like, "Oh, that was the nice little thing that just happened there." And she's just gonna kind of plop down and you know, do the whole like, "Hey, so what are your rates, good sir?"
For a daily reading, I charge a silver piece.
And like, what about and this is where you start to realize maybe she's being slightly serious. What about are there any readings about like, I don't know, like changes that are happening with you or weird things or like, you know, stuff about like your life, you know, just in general?
Yeah, I mean, I can do a reading for whatever suits your fancy. We can do the here and now, or I can do other types of reading. It all depends on what you need. Is it a spiritual thing that like changes that you're trying to address, or you gotta give me a little bit of something to work with, miss?
Okay, and she shifts a little uncomfortably, and the reason why she's shifting uncomfortably is under that beautiful, like cute flouncy dress that she's wearing. She is sitting on her second tail, and it is not comfortable. And
so she's got one tail out back. Is that
yes?
okay?
One tail
but then
out
she's
of
sitting
her
on
dress,
the other one.
and she's sitting on the other one. And well, you know, maybe like say something strange happened and you want to know why recently, and you want to make sure it doesn't happen ever again or can go away. Here now, I guess.
All right.
Keeping is hard for people.
He's just so Sawin just like kind of looks at you, doesn't say anything for a few moments.
She grimaces.
Well, we could do mind, body, and spirit, perhaps, because it just seems like you're going through maybe a period of growth and you just need a better understanding of what's going on.
Sure.
Does that sound? Is that a fair assessment from what you've told me?
Is that a fair assessment?
Huh?
Is
that a fair assessment?
Yes, that's a fair assessment. I will even sweeten the deal, and I pull out a roasted chicken sandwich and just, you know, it's like wrapped, and just put it on the table. And then silver coin.
Yeah. Well, it's almost like you know me. Chicken's my favorite. And then and Simon just starts drawing cards. So he's going to do a mind, body, and spirit reading for Juniper. Let's see. The first card that is drawn... Well, I'm not sure how much this is going to be of use to you, but...
We'll find out.
Drawn the Three of Pentacles. So that typically signifies teamwork, collaboration, and building. So, I'm assuming in your life there are several people of vastly varying skills and beliefs working together. I can't make this up. You can't see my screen, but that's literally what I drew.
Jesus Christ. How curious. I am part of a book club.
And joining in to work on a greater cause. So teamwork helps to create something new, and progress is swift. So that was the mind. This is the body, which is typically is what's the state of your body and how are you feeling?
She's gonna just kind of like inch forward a little bit.
This is just out of character laughing because I just drew the 10 of Swords. And that represents betrayal, backstabbing, and defeat.
Is there a stabbing pain in your back, perhaps? Spinal region?
Okay.
Deceit.
Sorry.
Well, there's no deceit, right?
Defeat. It's
Defeat.
Betrayal, backstabbing, and defeat.
Deceit. Betrayal. Well,
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah, the state of your body and how you are currently feeling right now. That's what the second card is.
Oh.
And so disaster strikes when one least expects it. It is swift. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to read this without laughing. I apologize. It is swift and in this case unavoidable. Something. Something here is beyond your control. Leaving you. Oh my god. Leaving you with a feeling that you are a victim of your circumstances.
Jess, I just want you to know this. As far as I'm concerned, nothing to do with Samhain. Jess is a witch, okay? Jess is a flat out witch.
Oh my god. Oh Lord.
Look, so I'm using, like, okay, to be, like, fair with everybody, I am using an app because I don't actually have a tarot deck for me to use.
Some people use a fully cyber setup. I think it counts.
Yeah, no, it's fine, but I'm wondering, my only thing is like, I wonder if I will be scarily accurate with my future readings once I have a physical deck in my hand, because this has been nuts. And, okay, so the last card I have drawn is for the spirit. So what state is your spirit in, and what does your higher or elevated self say? And I have drawn the Six of Pentacles, which is charity, generosity, and sharing, which you've done by bringing me a sandwich. I'm kidding. You didn't pay me I'm kidding. You didn't pay me a silver to bring me a sandwich. So it's compassion and understanding breeds generosity, sharing, and charity. One gives away the fruits of one's labors with the understanding that the situation of having the upper hand can be reversed at any moment.
Oh man. Oh man, Juniper's done. Are there a lot of people around?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a small crowd.
There are? Okay.
Small.
Are they close? Can they hear her?
I mean, it's sort of treated like a spectator sport. You might be able to lean in and whisper something, though, absolutely. And they'd probably respect that, right? They understand that this is like a personal thing for some people, and so they would absolutely allow, like, if you leaned in, this group would, like, lean back, you know?
Okay. I would 100% lean into Samhain and be like, "Are you sure you're not like a wizard or something?"
I only tell you what the cards
I
tell.
don't have that. I'm not a wizard. I mean, I'm a wizard, but I don't do that.
I am not.
Sorcerer?
No.
Okay.
I only tell you what the card. So like
Samhain's
Samhain just kind of like he leans back from Juniper a little bit, and he just looks at her and shrugs and says, "I only interpret what the cards tell me. It is up for the cards to decide, not for me. It's not my place to say." The cards determine that when I draw them from the deck.
Well, you know. Anyways,
but then Samhain will just like tap her shoulder and goes, "If we need to talk about this at length later, we can."
Can we?
Yes. And then he leans back.
And then I kind of go like this a little bit, and I'm wiping tears of laughter though, honestly. But Juniper's, has had a bit of a moment here, and she's going to go, "Right, well, that was very enlightening, and I'm going to go and sit by the water and think about life." And then I just stand up and abruptly walk away. And while I do that, I am gonna kind of glance around, but I mean, honestly, it has been a rough moment there.
Jesus Christ.
Just giving her an existential crisis while she's sitting at the table.
Oh
That's so on brand for Juno, though.
It's been a rough few days for Juno.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
That was good. That was quality stuff.
Oh,
I think that's the funniest one I've done yet.
Absolutely. Though not the most accurate.
Not the most... well, some parts was.
Oh,
right?
I'm not saying it wasn't incredibly accurate. I'm saying that you've had one that was scary how accurate it was.
Yeah. That was Tiss's, right?
Yep. Sorry, Tiss. Hi, Tiss. Sorry, Tiss. Okay.
All right, I'm going to clear that one.
Beautiful.
So we're good.
Okay.
oh my God.
Okay. Let's see what we got here. So, Samhain and Juniper, is there anything else that you're trying to do here, or is it just the fact that there are more guards and they're sort of building up sort of a more defensive state on the sea's embrace, and sort of what you were looking for?
So we figured out that the knock has changed.
The knock has not changed. There's just now guards there as well.
Ah, okay. Through the side door,
Are
you
the guards
mean?
anybody we'd recognize?
No.
No.
They are faceless, nameless guards. I didn't.
Are they part of the city watch though?
No.
Okay, so they're like hired mercenary
Yes.
group or peeps. Okay.
Yeah.
Or probably people who already work for the sea's embrace and they've just been scheduled for guard duty.
Yeah, why don't you roll an insight check?
Okay, cool. This possibly can't go wrong. 13.
Yeah. Yeah, they in fact look very much like they were yesterday people who were lifting heavy things, and today have been handed glaives and naginatas to sort of stand there and look tough and defend things. They don't look super experienced. They don't look like hired mercenaries who are contracted out, but they do look tough, right? They went from spending their days loading big heavy boxes to spending the day holding big sharp weapons. So
You said they don't look experienced in holding the weapons.
not super experienced, but that doesn't mean they can't use them.
Right? No,
Yeah.
no. But
No,
there's
just-
definitely
They're not,
there's
but they don't look
definitely-
like mercenaries. Like they don't. Kaz looks tough compared to these guys, right?
Yeah, yeah. No, but if they're not trained in the weapons that they're currently holding, that's something that we can exploit later.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely.
Just the chaotic person says.
I love it. Excellent. Okay. Anything else that Juniper and Samhain want to do while they're down here?
No. Sawin. Oh, do I see what's his foots? That gentleman. Seaworth. What is his name? No. Yes.
Yeah, Seaworth.
Seaworth. Yeah, does he come by at all at any point in time while we're here?
How long are you there for?
Well, Sawin wouldn't want to leave like the same time that Juniper does, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be here for like a couple of hours and then just like pack up my stuff and go.
No, he is not there.
And he's definitely not one of the people guarding the door.
No, he is not.
Duly noted. Yeah, that's all I want.
Okay.
That's all I want for my time here.
Excellent. Juniper, you want anything else from your time here?
I mean, I'll finish eating my sandwich, sadly, and then and then I'm gonna just I think that's everything I needed to know. Honestly, the big thing was about that the submarines, because that's what I was really worried about of everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
Okay, then we'll flash back to Kaz and Thomas with their plans to potentially do something about sneaking in. Let's see what happens. Thomas, Kaz asked you a question.
Yes, if only it was still fresh in my mind.
Kaz said, what do you think about... Oh, you want to say it, Kaz?
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, so Cass said, so, what do you think about me casting disguise self on myself again, but this time as a city guard, and then finagling my way in there? Maybe, do you know anything about the guard captain or what their name is or something? I don't know. Maybe I could say, like, I have a message and I have to go right now. I don't know. What do you think, Thomas?
All right, he's taken a moment to regard it. He looks at Kaz and he says, I don't want you to think that this is a reflection of my estimation of your general abilities, but I've lived in the city for a long time and I've seen things change, and I've seen that some things nearly always stay the same, and I don't believe, let's put it this way, I hate to negate an idea without having a fix in mind. So my suggestion would be to learn the face of one of these people, and if you believe that we could capably incapacitate them and prevent them from emerging and ruining whatever cover you have, I believe that might be a worthwhile endeavor, but only if you could seriously impersonate one of the people who he already knows to be in his employ. I mean, speech patterns, behaviors, because men like our mutual friend, because they're in public, don't reach the heights they do and stay there, stay on top, stay in their positions of relative safety without a very select set of people who they believe they can trust, or who the people who work for them believe can be trusted. So the people who are with him now are likely part of a small rotation of people who are almost always with him.
Right. That makes complete sense. But I don't know. I feel like this is a good opportunity and we shouldn't pass it up. I mean, I got a good look at one of the men who came up to me. If I don't know if perhaps we could cause a distraction or maybe put this off for another hour or something. I don't know, but I feel like we should we should at least get in closer to see what's happening there.
And I wholeheartedly agree. I'm not sure being part of his retinue is the way to go. Let's think about it. Who might he not notice? Who would reasonably really?
It's the computer.
Aw,
She just growled at the
Kitty.
computer.
No one's allowed to be more dramatic than her. Sorry.
I love it.
This is all my fault.
Well, what about like a messenger, or I don't know, like someone who could reasonably get past the doors and then just, I don't know, take a look inside, perhaps?
I've seen you become an absolute nightmare of an old man. Truly a wretched individual by all accounts. How is your scullery made?
How's my what?
How are you at your average household servant? Not too high as to be noticeable, but
Right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's also something we could do.
In fact, just to put this in perspective, you saw those people with the faded orange uniforms.
That too. I also saw these people in these uniforms.
you don't say.
Yeah, they were wearing pale orange tunics and they had embroidered lizard heads on the back. Very specific.
How many times can you cast that spell?
Well, I can cast it at least 3 more times
Okay.
if I were to use up all of my spell casting ability for the day.
If we're going to try something like this and escape with our skins, I'd rather not break it up, not make a huge ordeal of it.
Why don't
I hate the
you-
idea of not discussing this with the group. I feel like that way lies more chaos than we ought to bargain for, but how do you feel about doing that right now?
to do this right now? Yes, that's exactly what I meant. Let's do
Okay.
it right now.
All right. It's a good day to die. All right.
Oh my god.
Okay, so the plan is for me to go in.
I'm going to have
this
Mercury
guy.
with an eye on you. Actually, you know what? Take a round in the market with me first. And Thomas is going to try to buy some kind of handkerchief made out of dark cloth or something, and kind of a piece of string, and tie it around Mercury as best he can around his torso to try to make him look a little more drab, a little more dingy. But still, stop squirming. It'll be fine.
Must we do this?
Yes, we must.
You know that I am, like, really, really, really beautiful, right?
Oh my
Well, we
God.
all have our days,
Oh,
darling.
I'm sorry, buddy.
I'm just saying that, like, I am really beautiful, and your attempt to make me less attractive is, like, really against my nature and bothers
And
me a little
really,
bit.
really successful is the word I want to hear from you. My disguise attempt is successful.
Yeah, why don't you roll a disguise kit check? Do you have a disguise kit?
Absolutely not. That's what he was trying to acquire to basically
sure.
accomplish this.
Okay.
With them taking a stroll around the marketplace. Like supplies, like if he can get some
Yeah, sure.
charcoal,
I
if he can
think,
get the components
let's
of the
see.
disguise kit.
Why don't you roll a D20
A
plus...
shopping check?
Yeah, no, D20 plus your charisma modifier. And the lower you roll, the more money you'll have to spend to disguise it.
That's awesome. I know how much money he started with on D&D Beyond, and we haven't gone shopping since, but other than that, I have no idea how much money he should be allowed to have, so this will be fun.
Well, you know, you also have your daughter's credit card.
Yes, but that's not a card, literal or metaphoric.
No.
He's trying to play too often.
That's fair.
Let's
Fortunately,
roll
it's a charisma
charisma.
check. Yeah.
Ooh,
What is
That's
with these
right.
rolls, guys?
That's
Another
right.
nat 20. Oh my god. Yeah.
Disguising a dragon.
Yeah,
By
absolutely.
Patricia C. Reed.
That is a wonderful series. Okay, yeah, your pseudo dragon, not a real dragon. There are no real dragons. Your pseudo
Okay,
dragon.
dragon quotation marks.
Yes, your pseudo dragon. Is yeah, you absolutely just cover him. I don't know. Charcoal sounds good to me. Maybe a little tar. You sort of dirty him up a little bit. This is our
Poor
fourth nat 20, whatever.
Mercury.
Third nat 20 and 5-6 rolls, whatever. Jesus. That's 3 nat 20 and 6
I rolled
rolls.
a 3 in a history check earlier for the city he's grown up in for almost 7 decades.
Well, it turns
I
out
feel like this is karma.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, absolutely. So it's just he looks like a pigeon from a distance. Not up close. He's too big to look like a pigeon. But from a distance, he looks like a pigeon.
While
Thomas
we're
is like
shopping-
talking to him the whole time, like, it's going to be all right. Tell me what you like, and later we'll get you a lot of it. All right, it'll be Mercury's night.
You better bet it will be. Oh God, I don't know
That's
if I
the
can
spirit.
fly with all this charcoal on my wings. And he sort of does the little pseudo dragon dance thing where he sort of flaps his wings and stretches out his shoulders a little bit.
It's fortunate that this is not a universe with Facebook, because Thomas would be that Facebook uncle.
Fair enough. Okay, so Kaz and our pseudo dragon are gonna fly over there, or gonna head over there.
If Kaz can fly, that would be a skill set that I would need.
absolutely cannot fly.
Never mind that.
Yeah.
Not with that attitude.
Not yet, at least.
Have you ever tried?
Kaz has had no happy thoughts.
Well, while we're shopping,
Mhm.
could we have reasonably obtained like a pot and some whatever groceries?
Yeah, sure. Spend
well.
I don't know, 2 silver.
Okay, sure. 2 silver. Got it.
Okay. So what's the yeah? So you're gonna just knock on the door as if you're one of the workers? Is that the plan, or are you gonna sneak in and pretend that you were always there, or what's the plan?
Well, is it just me or Thomas? Are you staying
Nope.
outside? What?
Gonna order another round of kombucha to not drink.
Thomas, you have the ability to ride along with Mercury if you want.
We've just established that big dragons don't exist.
Oh,
I know what you mean. I'm
Sorry,
sorry.
I meant pop your consciousness into Mercury. And
Do you think that's something that they would have synced up so far?
I'm just saying it's a possibility. If you want to try and
Okay.
figure out that, it's fine. If not, that's
You know
fine
what?
too.
You know what? I've got this. While he sits there, kind of with his kombucha, he's going to. What time is it right now?
Yeah, it's let's see. The meeting started at 2:30.
They've been just
So
for a
it's-
little while.
Yeah, so it's almost 3.
Okay. He is going to have, because the situation is a little squirrely and they haven't discussed it with the team,
Mhm.
and half because it's just who he is and where he's at right now, he's going to kind of close his eyes and kind of get into a meditative state, and he's going to pray, just kind of not like a child's prayer, but just like a very basic prayer for safety and protection that he would have learned.
Okay, beautiful.
And as he's very sincerely praying and kind of like meditating, does anything happen?
Yeah, so you begin to offer this prayer, and to Tamden, I think we established, although I don't remember.
Yes.
Perfect, Tamden, the goddess of the deity of fair winds and following seas, and you open your eyes, and suddenly are looking at yourself. It's like a little out-of-body experience. You're staring at yourself, and then you sort of look down and you see your own wing, and you just sort of lick a spot on your own wing, and that's when you realize that, wait, I don't have wings. And that's when you realize that you're inside the perceptual area of Mercury.
And that sounds trippy, but the second he opens his eyes and looks at himself, he quickly fixes his hair instinctually.
I love it. And Mercury said, "Whoa, you're in here too. That's weird."
My friend, I think this is going to be more of an adventure than we bargained for.
I don't know. I bargained for quite a lot. Well, let's get to it.
We must have a conversation about that sometime. But for now, let's see about this.
Yeah, and you're sitting in front of in sort of a front of a open, like a little open space in front of the coffee shop, and you hop out the sort of like wooden tables that are sort of awkwardly placed so that people can walk down the sidewalk still. But you hop off and start flying over towards the house as Kaz heads that way as well.
Yes. Okay, so I would say Kaz is disguised with the pale orange tunics that she saw, trying to replicate that as much as possible, and instead of like looking like she does, she probably looks like just an average Joe.
What race? Species? Sorry, what species?
A human.
Okay.
Still a human.
Okay.
And she's going to take the pot that she bought and carry that with both of her hands with some whatever other food items they bought there, and put that inside and walk up to the guards.
Who goes there? What are you doing here?
Oh, I'm here. I'm here for the thing, here. I brought some stuff. Sorry, I was a little late.
A little late? You guys were supposed to be here before the event started.
Yeah, I know. There was a lot that happened this morning, and I won't bore you with the details. I gotta get in there now, though, to make up for lost time.
Yeah, why don't you roll a persuasion check?
Okay. Yikes.
9. Yeah, so he looks at you and says, Nah, I'm sorry, I can't do that. The meeting's underway. They probably may do without you. It's fine. Go home. I won't tell your boss about this, though.
Well, could I at least drop off some of this food I brought? I'll be in and out really quickly.
Yeah. Here, give it here. And he pulls out his hand.
Are you sure? I mean, I would rather.
No big deal. No big deal. I get it. Hey, I've been there. I've had slow mornings sometimes, or whatever. And one of the other guards says, "Darn straight you have." It's like, "Hey, shut up, Nigel." And then he looks at you and says,
Nigel.
I've got you. I've got you covered. No big deal.
I hate they have nice guards.
If you're sure, are you? Well, you know what? I also really have to use the bathroom. Can I go in and use the bathroom really quick?
Oh man. Yeah. Why don't you roll another persuasion check?
Kaz should tell him
Dance.
that she's
Dance in
having
place.
lady problems.
Oh, man.
It's that time of
Please
the month.
dance. Please
I'm
sell it.
incontinent. Please.
Would it be persuasion or deception?
I guess technically Cass is lying. Yeah, I guess it is deception.
Oh, sorry. Never mind. She rolled a pretty good persuasion.
Oh my god.
I mean, it's the same modifier.
Okay, if it's the same modifier, then it's fine. I'm just gonna leave it as is. Okay, let's roll.
Oh, Lois, please don't lick your. Oh,
She's fine.
No, it's a 14.
Yeah, I don't know. You should probably head home. There's a kombucha shop down the corner. You can
Yeah,
go
there
there.
is.
There's sort of stuff going on there, and we've got sort of sensitive material coming on. But hey, look at you. You're Chalestrin. I'm Chalestrin. I won't tell your boss about this, and I'll make sure that your friends don't tell on you either. Okay? You'll still have a job in the morning.
Okay, I certainly appreciate that.
Yeah.
And then I pee waddle really uncomfortably and turn. And as I am turning, do I see any other way to get in besides the front door?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, roll a perception check.
Oh, I'm so terrible at that. but a 15.
15, nice. You were rolling like really well today, guys. Yeah, I mean, there's windows that could be broken. There might be a back door, but it looks like it leads to like sort of a yarded area. It's not like closed in by a fence or anything like that, so you could go in through the backyard, potentially. You see a pseudo dragon fly and a big
Does
pigeon.
she or does she see?
A big
Yeah.
pigeon that you know is a pseudo dragon
Okay.
fly towards the area. And where do you have Mercury land, Thomas?
I believe his instructions this time would have been to keep an eye on Kaz and to help her out and report back to me if there's danger.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So I do see Mercury as I'm walking away. Okay. Then
and Mercury gives you a wing shrug.
I want to kind of maybe wink or some kind of motion to have Mercury come and meet with me, perhaps a little bit out of eyesight.
So Mercury flaps down to to call it an alley would be presumptuous, but like a little space between two houses, and just sort of flaps down and lands on like a railing. There.
All right, so I didn't do so hot there, and I also lost my pot and food.
Mercury can't talk to Kaz and never has. What is happening?
I didn't do so good at that. But, I still have this disguise for a little bit longer. How do you feel about trying to cause a moderate distraction?
Cocks his head.
Maybe you can, I'll just start screaming, and I'll say that you stole my coin purse. I don't know.
And he looks you up and down, and then flaps over to land on your shoulder. And it's really startling, right? Because he's it's like a flying thing in your face, right?
Scaly boy.
And just lands on your shoulder. And then you see him you feel sharp claws sort of digging into you and sort of holding on, and just clambering down your side, and it stings a lot. There's a cat walking down your side and digs into the side of your stomach. And he just reaches down with his mouth and grabs your coin purse and flies off with it.
I just start screaming my head off. Guards! Guards! And I kind of run towards the direction they were and say, I've been swindled! My things have been stolen!
Yeah.
That giant pigeon. The giant pigeon lied to me.
And I think that's where we're going to take our break. So we'll come back and see if Kaz can use that distraction as a way to get into the house. And we will be back, everyone.
Down the street, by the way, Thomas is head down on the table, lamenting.
Yep.
If you leave Kaz on a mission, someone needs to be reasonable. But, it has to be enough to reduce that chaotic energy.
I love it. That's great. Okay. Well, everyone, we'll be back in about 6 minutes. That's 6:36 my time. I'll see you whatever time I see you. Your time. Bye.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Hey, world, we are back. Welcome, everyone. Oh, oops. Wow. I did not actually set anything up again. Hi. Okay. Welcome back, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. I'm doing well. I'm having a fun time seeing the chaos unfold and all that good stuff. Also, now I have almonds, so I am very happy. Part of me will I mention some almonds on stream. Okay. Here we go. Did I have any announcements? I don't think I had any announcements. If you're enjoying what you're seeing, we play again Thursday mornings with a different group in a different part of the world. They are trying to uncover a dastardly dungeon. We play Polpo Marcus Tis, help me out. 10:30, is that what we're doing? 10:30 PST? It's in my calendar. But we play 10:30 PST on Thursdays, and that group has just survived their first foray into the hidden dungeon that was buried under mountains of sand, and have uncovered the secret and dark art of hemomancy, or also known as blood magic. So we'll see what that amounts to. I'm not scared. I'm totally not scared. You're scared. Shut up. You're scared. We'll see what happens with all that nonsense. Starting Thursday. Those people just made it to level 2. So all good things. Hopefully they'll be less squishy now and be able to dive further into the dungeon. Also, if any of those people are watching, Marcus, since I know you are, remind me, I have a map for you guys, because I think I want to give you guys a live updating map as you guys explore things so you don't get lost and confused in areas that you already know, if that makes sense. So, yeah, that's all happening. And let's see, what else? I had something else. Oh, yeah, it looks like our third game is going to be starting up for this world in early December. Who knew? That'll be fun. So we'll start having our third game showing up around that time. Details still to come on all that stuff, but it looks like that's going to be a Thursday evening game. So big Thursday day for us. Who knows? We're gonna schedule against Critical Role. That goes great for role-playing groups, but who cares? All good things. Excellent. So we're slowly building up this world. Should be fun. I'm having a good time. Hope everyone else is having a good time. And we'll get some more groups in soon after that. I'm expecting another group to join us in January. Because that group is at level 19.
Oh, snap.
They have gotten to level 19. They are not at level 19. They have earned every frigging level all of the way. And now, between them and the end of the game is a devil queen, Tiamat, and the goddess of murder. So, nothing too scary there at all.
Chill.
Hopefully, if any of them are watching the stream, here's a spoiler for you. The goddess of murder can attack you and just do a flat 100 damage. No roll. Okay, back to the story, and the chaos that is happening here. So, Kaz, roll a performance check for me to go insane and distract these guards successfully.
Yep.
It's worth pointing out that this is more than just a normal, well, that's a 7. This is more than just a normal thing, right? The goal here is to get them actually to ignore their duties, right? And that is what takes the performance check.
Right.
They notice you, right? They're not ignoring you. You're not, like, not performing loud enough. They all notice you. And the one that was helping you before comes over and says, frigging birds. These things immigrated from Sunera, you know, these ugly pigeons. Gotta wipe them off the face of the planet. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. What is the plan for you? Do you need help? Do you need someone to walk you home or something like that?
No, I need someone to go get my coin purse. I can't do anything without that. I'm staying at an inn, and I need to pay for my stay tonight, and I still need to use the bathroom.
Fine. What do you expect me to do about it? No one can do anything. But, you are just as equipped to deal with the pigeon as I. And I think as he says that, Mercury just bop right on his head.
Okay.
That's my son right there.
Kaz takes that cue to just be like, "Oh my god, that's the biggest bird I've ever seen," and just runs like in the correct direction where the place is. Just sprints away from the scene.
Absolutely. So you're running towards the house. Yeah. So a couple of the other guards show up and like sort of help clean and check on your friend. Why don't you roll a stealth check for me?
Oh boy. All things I'm good at.
Oh, but you may not be good at it, but you know what you are good at? Dice, because an 18 plus 0 is still an 18.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think you find a way that you could probably make your way in through the backyard. Potentially.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
While the guards seem distracted.
Okay. So she sneaks in through the back. Is the door? Can she get in through the door? Is it unlocked?
The door is locked.
Shit. Okay.
It's got windows in it, right?
Oh.
It's like a, what do you call them? French doors? Yeah, they're like French doors, except obviously not French.
Okay. She tries the window. Is it budging?
Nope.
Okay.
You mean they're Chalestron doors?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think Chalestra would be the place that would have them, right? Because Chalestra's the
They
most
seem to have a
temperate
lot of-
climate.
Well, Sunera has. I figure they both have really awesome architecture, but in distinctly different ways.
Yeah, I mean, all four cultures have cool architecture, but in distinctly different ways. Because Prian's got the giant domes of...
If it's circular, it's definitely a halfling.
Yes, exactly. You read my mind. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, no, I think they're probably Chalestron doors. That makes the most sense. It's more has to do with climate, right? Sunera builds their houses in trees. Very different. Okay. So, no, the door is not, the window is not budging. Do you want to try and look through it or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
What does she see through the window?
Why don't you roll a perception check for me?
Another thing I'm not that good at. Oh, 3.
Yeah. So you look through the window, and as you do, it looks like you're seeing like a dining room table, and like maybe there's some people around it, but they're like through a door or something like that, so you can't really see. But you see a fist just slam down heavily on the table, and everything like rattles. In fact, even the window that you're leaning against rattles as this heavy fist just slams down into the table. And then like your vision is obscured, and like at first it takes you a second to realize what it is, but then you look up and you see that there is a person standing in the window looking at you, wearing the same orange robes that your disguise is wearing.
Okay, Kaz just points at the door and kind of mouths, "Let me in."
Oh no!
A person comes to the door and opens it and says, I haven't seen you before.
Yeah, I'm new around these parts.
I'm not sending anyone new for this job. This is high-profile stuff. What are you doing
Well,
here?
I don't know. I honestly, now that I see what's going on, I feel like it might have been a mix-up.
I would think so. What's your name?
Why, my name is Allegra.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna call this in, and we'll see what the people say about this. But this is not a good sign, Allegra. You shouldn't just drop in on other people's jobs and make a fuss.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. I'm
Please
just
keep
so.
your voice down. I don't want them to overhear us.
Okay, I'm sorry. I had no idea. I don't know how I ended up here. I was just following directions. Oh God, I don't know where I'm supposed to be.
Well, head back to head office, and I'm sure they'll send you somewhere. But
Okay.
But this is I'm gonna talk to the supervisor about you, Allegra.
Okay, that's understandable. I sure messed up. I'm sorry. I'm kind of ditzy. Well, I don't actually entirely remember how I got here either. Could you give me some directions on how to get back to the office from here?
Yeah, roll a deception check.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I
12.
don't even know if I want to save.
Yeah, I mean this woman is unimpressed by you, and so her response is, "It's just head down the street and turn right, and 6 more blocks, and you'll see the awning."
Okay. Thank you. I'm so sorry. And she bows really deeply.
Yeah.
And
this woman just turns around, and as she turns around, like a barbed tail, like swings right in front of your face for a second. And like it was very clearly like an intimidation tactic that she was trying to intimidate you with a barbed tail that she happens to have.
barbed tail. Okay. In the brief moments I was inside, did I see or notice anything unusual about the room? What room did I actually see into?
It's like a side room adjacent to the kitchen that's like sort of a side like hallway sort of thing, so you can sort of see into the hallway and then see into the dining room where they were meeting. I will give you one more perception check.
Okay.
Oh my god.
That's a 4.
Yeah. Well, a 4 is definitely better than a 3.
True.
I think you see a flash. It's not a lot because this person was blocking your sight most of the time and was doing a good job of like keeping you bodily from the building. But you see the flash of like an embroidered sleeve on an ornate coat.
Okay. And then with that, I turn around and head, keeping the directions in mind, probably kind of pulling out some paper and writing it down. I want to go back to see if I can see where Mercury is, if they're out of trouble yet.
Yeah, Mercury is like playing with the guards a little bit, like doing this thing where like he like flies down and like flaps just out of reach, and the guards like take a half-hearted swing in it, and then like flies up and then flies down and then flies up and flies down, sort of playing with them a little bit.
Okay.
It's like toying with them, like they're a cat.
Okay. Then assuming everything is okay there, I want to kind of see if I can go around the scene and head to where Thomas is.
I wouldn't.
Dropping the disguise.
Mm-hmm. Okay, absolutely. So Thomas, what's your status?
Baffled.
Mm-hmm. As Kaz shows up.
Sedentary. He's sitting, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. He has not moved at all. Mm-hmm. He hasn't said much either.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
He may never speak again.
Oh boy. Oh god. Okay. Kind of shakes Thomas's shoulder. Hey, what's going on? Hey, what's happening? Buddy? Hello?
He just stares straight ahead of him.
Hey, why aren't you talking? Oh my god, are you okay? Holy crap, and then just starts shaking Lucille's shoulder.
Yeah, your body can feel that.
Yeah, that's not the problem.
Mm-hmm. Okay, just making sure.
Okay, I have no idea what's happening here.
Slap him.
Do not. Don't do it.
Take some water, splash in his face.
I mean, if Juniper was here, she'd just shock and grasp him.
I don't have that. I can smite him, but I won't. Oh my god. Yeah.
Absolute goddamn vagrants.
No reaction, of course.
Soaking wet and highly offended, more now possibly than ever before in the last few minutes. He turns to stare at her. Says, "We really have got a lot of work to do, haven't we?"
Oh my god! I thought you were in a coma or something. I'm so glad you're all right. What was that? Hello? Thomas?
Please sit down and have this terrible drink and
I don't
And-
like that. I don't want that.
I don't either. Just take it.
Okay.
Forcing her to
No,
punishment.
just gonna hand it to her. He's going to advise Mercury to meet them outside the shop. No, he's not. He's going to advise Mercury to try to find an open window up high or a chimney, a
Wait.
non-lit chimney.
Okay.
So
And also, those coins are coming straight back to Thomas. Like,
That's why I didn't have much.
no.
And I think as you say that, Mercury says, "Oh, come on, boss. Let me keep the bag.
Have the bag.
I stole it fair and square."
Oh, fine.
Okay, into the house?
As far as you can get without being seen or roasting yourself in an active chimney, if you think you're up to it, I don't know. I don't know how skilled you are in stealth. Well,
I've got a +3 modifier, boss.
oh, that's good to know. That means nothing to me. Off you go.
meanwhile, Samhain and Juniper are like, wow, they sure are taking a while. Just drinking tea at the
Solar
end.
Tavern.
Silver Tavern.
Beautiful. Okay. So yeah, so he goes to sneak on in. Why don't you roll a stealth check for him?
It's my stats, right?
No, it's D20 plus 3.
D20. Oh, well, that's also my stats. So
Well,
let's
there you
just use that.
Nice.
9.
Okay.
He wouldn't get advantage because he's so disguised so heckin' good.
No, he would not get advantage.
Okay.
He looks
Okay.
like a pigeon.
Just making sure.
So the good news is that you didn't need to get that high, because of a lot of factors.
Good.
But,
Just say no to drugs, kids. You don't need to get that high. There's a very low CR on getting high on life.
Dungeons and Dragons is better anyway.
Yes.
So, but the bad news is that all of the windows are closed, and the chimney is active. So there's no real route for him to get in. He could get to one of the windows and sort of peer in if he wanted, but he would only be able to do that. Sorry, he would be able to do that, but how much he would be able to see would be hard to guess.
Okay. All right. Thomas is going to suggest to Kaz. Perhaps we should go home in separate ways, just so we're not seen together.
Not the first time.
Purely for
someone told me
safety
that.
reasons, not because I don't want to be seen with you or anything. just for safety, mind you.
Understandable.
So rendezvous
Okay,
back at the place.
all right, back at the place. Right, wink. Okay.
Yeah, that excellent. Off you go then. How'd it go?
So Kazan, what's your route? Where are you? You leave first or second?
I would assume she leaves first. Yeah,
Okay.
she would leave first.
Absolutely. So you leave first, and Thomas, are you gonna hang out for a
Thomas
second?
is going to leisurely stroll, kind of down the street in front of the house, not close to it, just within 160 feet
Mhm.
of one of the windows,
Mhm.
and cast knock.
Beautiful.
If he can get around a corner or
Mhm.
somewhere like
Yeah, it's from an alley.
because obviously it'll have when you cast a spell, it has physical components, but
Yep.
just as casually as possible.
Whoa, it's a nice trick, boss.
Well, you taught it to me. Let's make some use of it.
And he flies on through the window. Are you riding along?
For now, yes. He's going to stop and kind of like pretend to be rummaging through his pockets and like checking his coin purse and everything.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He'll find a comb and kind of like brush out his hair and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. So, Mercury makes it in, and it's the house. The upper floors of the house are a little dusty, especially compared to how nice everything is outside, and how clean everything is. It's definitely like it's a little weird how dusty it is. But he finds sort of a grand staircase that very clearly has not been like used, and like starts not flying, because flying in some ways is more disruptive and harder to like slow down and stop.
Yeah.
So he
Just
like
hopping.
yeah, so he hops a little bit, but he ends up climbing onto the banister and sort of slowly going down. I want you to roll a perception check for him, and this will determine how far he has to go down the banister to hear things.
What's his modifier?
+4.
Oh, good. That's actually one better than mine. So if I just roll a d20, would we add 4?
Yep, that's fine.
Because
You can also type if you want for people.
hell yeah,
Guys,
this dragon
nat
is lit.
20s. Nat 20, nat
Yeah.
20, nat 20.
Oh,
My
That's
God.
5, right?
I think that's
This
5
dragon
today.
is about to eat like a king.
That's insane. That's insane, guys. It's like 5 and 7 rolls.
Like
or something
God
gross
wants
like that.
us to know about
8
the
rolls.
table pounding man.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so the good news is that you can hear everything. The bad news is that the meeting is sort of winding up. So there are 4 people who were in attendance at this meeting. We have, of course, Primarch Magli Blackice. We have the tall, thin lizard-born with 1 arm only. We have a pale skinned female human child. And we have your daughter, Oceana. So these are the 4 people at the meeting. And it's a little weird because they are taking this pale-skinned female human child. They are taking her very seriously. You would guess she's like 10 or 9 or something like that. But the meeting is concluding, and like everyone is sort of like being very polite to each other and thanking each other. And Magli Blackice and your daughter shake hands, and you hear him say, "I'm very glad that we could come to an arrangement, Oceana. I think that this will work out in a beneficial pattern for all of us. Know that I will take care of my end of the agreement. No questions asked." And Oceana says, "Yes, well, I'm glad that we could work something out. It's important that our societies mutually benefit each other, shall we say. And I'm glad to not have your navy at my back." The lizardborn is speaking with the child and says, "Are you so sure that all of this will work?" And she says, "Yes, I have foreseen it all. Everything will go according to plan. But how can you know? Much divination is guesswork, and for all your talents, you are still... I am not what I appear. Do not make the mistake of judging me by my form." And he seems sort of unsatisfied with that. And he turns and he walks to Oceana and says, "Pirate Queen, it is good to have met you. Thank you for your hospitality, Monsieur Blackice." And then he turns And he calls, and he says, "Hubert! You here?" Yes, I'm here." "Excellent. It is my ship that will take you back to Prion. We have negotiations to arrange. We will leave next week sometime. That good with you?" Yes. Yes, that's fine with me." "Good. Excellent. I look forward to traveling with you again, Hubert." "Okay. Thank you." And the lizardborn leaves. Oceana nods to the pale-skinned female human child, and then she leaves as well. Hubert then goes to Magli Blackice and says, "My lord, is there any additional information that you have for me to take to the prime government, to the crowned one?" "No, that'll be fine, Hubert. Don't let any of them know about what's going on here, of course." "Oh, no, my lord, of course, never. I would never. But you know that you have other interests, other supporters." "I am well aware, Hubert Songshore. It is a delicate balance that I must walk. But I know how not to fall off the edge of a knife." And Hubert says, of course, my lord." The pale-skinned human female child says, "And so it begins, here and now. We must be strong before the reckoning. Of that, have no doubt." And then she nods, and she says, "Hubert, I'm staying here for the night." He says, Of course, do you want me to have one of the guests set up one of the rooms?" And she says, "No, I'll head upstairs myself." And she turns and starts walking towards the staircase.
I'm just going to get out of there now.
And he immediately turns around and flies out. Roll a dexterity check for him, which is +2.
I'm surprised he's not more dexterous.
I
So 26.
think he has a 14. I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure he has a 14. Let me check. Yeah, just +2. You might give him dexterity saving throws in the future. That is rolling 2d20.
I just rolled 2.
So it's going to be slash roll, and then space 1d20 +2.
Okay, so like a
7 + 2.
9, one might say.
Yeah. So a 9. Yeah, absolutely. Wow. Did you just roll
Every
3
time I
sevens
try
in
to
a row?
type that out, it never works. Yeah, I guess so. We're just rife with 20s and 7s. Also, I'm having a hard time reacting to anything because I got really deeply involved in that very hypnotic conversation and RPing Thomas, who is just stunned at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. So Mercury flies out, and as he's leaving, he sort of tosses a glance back over his shoulder, and he sees the pale-skinned female human child smile and nod at him.
I knew it.
And then he flies out the window. Meanwhile, Thomas,
She's got all our numbers.
you see Oceana walking out the front door.
Does she see him in the instant that he has to react?
Yeah, why don't you roll a dexterity saving throw?
Oh, he's not going to. He's going to shift into his disguise as a young woman.
Excellent. Never mind then.
And he's going to walk along the street and try to pretend as if he's on his way to the kombucha shop again.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Okay. So you walk away.
Mm-hmm. She would recognize him as a younger version of himself, but because this form is awkward to him, I don't believe she's ever seen him in it.
Excellent. So you head back to the kombucha shop.
Mm-hmm.
Do you wait there?
He spends about 10 minutes and then 15 minutes and then
Yeah, about
30
1
minutes.
minute after you arrive there, Oceana walks past. And you can see her walk past.
Does she have any of her crew with her?
No.
He is going to apologize to the proprietor, whatever server is there, for being in and out so much. He's going to leave them a couple silver and wish them a good night and head back towards the Soulwood Tavern. And he's going to, when he gets reasonably past the house, he's going to be like, I mean, he's going to try to get Mercury to come to him again.
Who's the broad?
That is a young woman to be very highly regarded, very, very clever, very quick. The devil herself with a rapier, and my daughter.
Oh, sorry, boss. Didn't mean nothing by it.
Yes, I have a lot to think about. Let's go find our friends.
Sure, no problem, boss. Nods, and you guys make your way back to the Soulwood Tavern. And everyone gathers at the Soulwood Tavern.
Oh my god.
Thomas orders whatever giant seafood platter, or like if they've got a whole fish like that still looks like a fish.
Absolutely, yeah.
Just gonna order that for Mercury while he relays all of this to the group.
Oh, he tells them everything, even about his daughter?
He tells them about everyone in attendance. I don't know that. Did we have that conversation? Does Juno know that she's his daughter?
That's the thing. Like, I
Because
feel like
she definitely knows that she's an acquaintance of his.
and like you talked about her, like my dear and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, she knows they're familiar.
And I don't know, like
He would likely say someone I recognize as quite formidable among the local pirates.
Okay, would she piece that together though? Because I mean,
Yeah,
they
roll an
went to a
intelligence saving throw.
pirate place.
Saving throw? If you do badly, you take psychic damage.
20.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, daughter seems like very precise, but related or very close family friend or something like that. Like someone that Thomas cares deeply about.
Okay,
but
so
maybe has,
Juniper's not... Oh, sorry. Juniper's not going to say anything about the fact that she kind of has figured that out.
Yeah.
But she is going to look kind of concerned at that.
So Thomas tells you all the story of what he witnessed.
He describes in detail, because he would have seen through Mercury's eyes, hopefully, the physical appearance of everyone. They know what Magli Blackice sounds like now, and generally all of the details regarding Prian, regarding Hubert Songshore as a patsy excuse to basically have this safe house. We must be strong before the reckoning, etc., etc. He just lays it all out.
Well, that's a lot. Hey, I got some directions to some headquarters. That's all I got from my whole thing.
Well, the directions to the headquarters is big.
It's not a contest. We all succeed together or fail together. And he's just like,
that's a lot you just said just now.
Wine, thank you. Wine, thank you.
We're in the private room, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
with a giant
Well, he pokes his head out the door. Wine, please.
Yeah, a bottle of wine is delivered.
He would have just straight up, he would not have asked for it. He would have snagged it off the counter on the way in.
Oh no.
Have we been making sure that Garhaz is on duty every time we come back?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of work.
I wanted to check. Okay.
He's getting a lot of work. You guys are giving him a lot of potatoes, we can presume. Anyone give him a potato this time?
Nah, not this time. I lost my potatoes in that pot.
Oh, I had some potato chips with homemade potato chips with my sandwiches, and I gave him some of those.
He's very confused by this, but likes it.
Slice these like way too thin. What is this?
I sliced them very thin and I put them in the oven downstairs. It's not my oven. I'm sure they won't mind.
That's great.
Did you leave them some to eat downstairs?
I love it. That's wonderful. So Thomas and Kaz, after investigating Hubert's song show, oddly, at the request of our weird group that lives underneath the season brace.
I have a whole new perspective on these smugglers now.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I'm not sure how much I should tell them.
I mean,
couldn't we ask around? Or is it safe for us to ask around with our current employers, for lack of a better term for them, our associates, well, they're the ones that told us to investigate them in the first place. I don't feel comfortable now, like knowing what we know now and the information we got from, well, at least a little bit of what we got from the season brace versus what we've currently gotten from, like, was it Mr. Octopus?
Yeah, Mr. Octopus from
and Lady Stingray. Yeah. I don't feel quite, my confidence in them has decreased. I don't know if anybody else feels the same.
What? No, I'm sure they know what they're doing. No, I said what? I'm sure they know what they're doing. I mean,
they told us to investigate the Sea's Embrace, and the riffraff that Kaz was invited to join told her to check out Hubert Shoresong about, like, why he lives in that house.
Well, if we think about it, it may not be unusual for people in different strata of the city to have different levels of information about a situation. We still don't know this group's motives as to looking into this halfling. They may have had their business practices disrupted by his moving into that house. They may have...
But you told us that the house looked barely used.
Well, upstairs it was dusty. Downstairs it was quite clean. Obviously set up for this purpose, but I'm not convinced that just because the group with which we've been associating had sparse information on this subject, especially when they were sending us in to find a level of information to fill in their gaps, that may not necessitate the idea that they're working for Primarch Blackice.
Well, I don't know. I mean, if your boss is a bad person, and you know they're a bad person, and I guess you're a bad person too because you put people in cages like an absolute monster, then, you know, maybe you want to know what your boss is doing, because, like, bad people backstab each other all the time, right? Like, you know, it's in the books and stuff. You know, like, you know, when the evil mistress, you know, stabs the Dark Lord at the end of the book, and, you know, they fall off the tower. Like, that's what they do, just without falling off the tower or being Dark Lords. I'm just gonna eat my chips.
No. I mean, those are valid points, and you should feel like you can speak up with them, Jennifer. I mean,
Yeah.
we're all just throwing thoughts out here.
Yeah.
The truth is, we don't know anything
chips.
about the situation for all the
Wow.
knowledge we gained tonight.
I think I will report back to them, the people under the season race asthma, but I will not tell them even half as much as we've discovered tonight or today. Probably just what they asked, who's coming in and out of the place.
Have some
Perhaps
thoughts
we
on
can-
that.
Go, yes, by all means.
Perhaps we could rehearse what you're going to say to them ahead of time, just so that we're all very clear, and we can deliver it convincingly. And really, this is about the growth of the group, and perhaps we'll really get it down before we go in there. What do you say?
That sounds like a great idea. I will get out of
Maybe we should play cards more and teach you how to lie better.
I lie great. I'm really great at lying. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm always ready to learn more.
To learn more about lying.
See, when you did that, you touched your hair, and I know you're lying.
I don't know
For
what
God's
you're
sake, listen to
talking
the boy.
about. I have a +4 modifier to do something.
He's really insightful. Someone knows what he's talking about. I'm not like,
Well, I would not turn down lessons on such a thing. I have lied more than I ever have had to in my entire life just this past week, so I feel like every sentence that comes out of my mouth is a lie. But
Are you lying
that
right
wasn't.
now? We wouldn't even know.
Well, not okay, on the job. I mean on the job. Obviously. Okay. Well,
Excellent.
what is the order of
Yeah, what's the
we're
plan?
doing
What do we got?
next?
What are you doing first? Is Kaz reporting in first? Because they're offering.
maybe we should have Cass report in first.
It would give us another look at the inside of that warehouse if that's still something that we're interested in. That was our primary mission. Although I suppose we'll need to discuss what we're going to report back as a facet of this.
Yeah, what exactly should I share with them?
A woman came in.
No,
A
after
woman.
all this, what I'd really like to see is this halfling get his shop absolutely wrecked. Unfortunately, there's a very powerful person residing in his abode proper. That's Sia. And I wanted to let you all know this. As Mercury was leaving, with a less than appropriate level of stealth than the conversations overhead possibly required, but we can't all be perfect.
It's really hard to psychically mutter, but Mercury finds a way to psychically mutter.
No, you've been paid. You're fine. The coin purse, Kaz's coin purse, is spilled out on the bar next to the giant fish
broke.
that is there for him.
Yep.
He
He's eating the
keeps
fish.
blocking Kaz's hand when she goes for it.
Yep, absolutely.
Try once, and I'm like, okay, it was only 9 gold and 2 silver, anyways.
Oh.
Oh, He'll sneak it back to her a piece at a time. It'll be fine. He'll start shuffling them out for other shiny things.
Yeah. Just keep it in the bag, though.
But that's Sia. She looked at Mercury, and it could have been curiosity at seeing a creature that she may or may not have known existed, or for some reason it felt as if she was looking through me, or through him to me, and I'm not sure how I can tell that, but she just smiled and and took no further action. She didn't cry out.
Well, then
I would not assume that I or possibly the rest of us are off of the radar for these people.
You mentioned that she said that wasn't her form in the conversation.
It's possible that she might have been born under a Chimera star. It's also possible that, I don't know, a great many things are possible in this world.
Is there a way of knowing? I guess this is an over the table question.
Hi, I answer over
Is
the
that
questions.
hi? Yeah, I don't know if that's like metagaming or anything. If like, because I know that people view their star signs as very important, and I don't know how much information people are like, or like how much information people give about their star sign and what they're born under. Like, I'm not sure like what's social etiquette as far as that's concerned.
Yeah,
And
some of
in
the
the
star signs are
event,
very physical changes, and so from that perspective, it's considered sort of like open, right? You would like it's like it's
You
not.
could not hide the fact that the guard that Kaz encountered was a manicore because they have those big ass tails.
Right, exactly. And it like also remember that like literally the star that you're born under.
I thought it was kitchen staff that had.
It was the kitchen staff. Sorry, yeah, it was kitchen.
Oh,
staff.
sorry.
Yeah, and also remember that like it's your birthday, right? Literally. So if you say, "Oh yeah, I celebrate my birthday on the 6th of Bahir," then you are a Bahir. You know, it lines up perfectly with the month system. So
yeah, no, I just
so
didn't
think
know
about it
how
about as
open
common as like knowing someone's birthday, right?
Okay.
So
yeah, so you'd have to be like an acquaintance.
Yeah, you'd have
least.
to know them, but like it wouldn't. People don't. But they also people put it on their like dating profiles if there are dating profiles here. You know, so.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to pull it away.
Okay, because I was going to ask is, do Chimera-born folks, I guess they wouldn't really know then who has that, because you'd have to be an acquaintance with that person and you'd have to know, or you'd have to, I guess, ask what their alternates were. I guess.
Well, if anyone's curious, I haven't been casting Disguise Self every time I've transitioned my appearance in this way. And while it may not be, I mean, there are many things, obviously, that can benefit from being able to not appear as yourself at all times. I imagine a good deal of people prefer to keep their shapes a secret. However, the fact that she appeared as a young girl to me is a bit of a flag, you might say. The reason why one of my forms is so young is because many people come into this ability when they are Chimera. When around the time they come of age, you have the ability to choose your appearance. And when I was young, I was quite taken with a sculpture of a Nereid. I don't know if any of you might have mentioned it's still up there on the fountain downtown. Sometimes when I was younger, I would walk by it and I would disguise myself as the nymph just to kind of see if anyone double took or if anyone noticed, and it was just a bit of fun. But a lot of people do choose their appearances right out of the gate, and so it's not uncommon for people's forms to appear quite a bit younger as young adults, or possibly even younger than that if they think it might benefit them. The more you know. But the appearance of a child, I couldn't quite place that. I mean, chances are this may not be a chimera at all. There may be forces at work here which we don't fully understand. Her youthful appearance is the only thing that sort of raised an eyebrow with me about it.
Did she happen to have any identifying marks or features?
She was quite pale. Her skin was very, very pale.
No blemishes, no birthmarks on her face?
No.
Okay. All right.
And
Okay. Well, I think our next scene is Kaz checking in with our group underneath the season brace. Does that sound right, everyone?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Real quick?
Yeah.
What did we agree on sharing with them again?
Yeah, we need to practice while we're in this room.
I would say like just say that there was a woman because we don't want to like say who she is. Maybe I don't know. You don't want to give details.
I never saw a woman. Me as Randall only saw the people, a couple humans in orange tunics, and the Primarch walk in.
Oh. Yeah.
So the other people were already in the house.
Well, Randall left and then came back, right? The other people
Yeah.
came in after Randall took off.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Potentially.
So
I mean,
just
you didn't see them enter, so maybe they were already there. Maybe
if
something
you
else.
if you only say what Randall saw, then you're not lying.
Okay, so I'll tell them I saw 3 people in orange tunics. I guess won't describe what I saw on the tunics.
Well, I'm sure it'll figure it out. I'm sure there's not too many places around here that have pale orange as their uniform.
Right. Okay. Well, I will just tell them exactly what Randall saw, and that is...
Okay. So you head back to the season brace. It's evening now. Say like 6:30. And the guards are still standing outside the side door. You do know the other entrance if you want to go in the other way.
So I only have one more spell slot left since I cast this guy's spell again.
Okay.
As Randall. And I will go through the other entrance.
Okay. Yeah, so you enter through the secret entrance, and head down that way. And there's a bunch of people hanging out. And as you come in, one of them looks up, and it's Asma. And she says, Randall! Come on in!
Hello! Hey, what's up?
You want some food? We've got some food cooking.
Oh, yes, that would be great. Let me go grab some food, then I'll let you know what I figured out, or what I saw.
You saw some things! Oh, that's great! I'm so glad to hear that.
I did indeed. Okay. So, I camped out in front of Hubert's place, and I saw 3 humans, pale orange tunics, walk in. And I saw the Primarch himself walk in.
And as you say, the Primarch, Asma just puts a hand over her heart and says, "May he reign forever."
Ooh.
And then looks back at you.
May he reign forever. It's the same thing.
Yeah, just like I was saying. Yeah. Uh-huh. So the Primarch was there. That's great. Did you see who he was meeting with?
I only saw the 3 humans and Primarch, and I don't know who else was inside. I assume Hubert was. He came with guards, of course, and they saw me, and I didn't want to make too much of a scene, so I left.
Any elves or dwarves in their guards?
Did I see any elves or dwarves?
No, they were all human.
No, all human.
Good. That's great. And so he was meeting with Hubert alone. Interesting. I think that scummy little halfling is like a broker. You know, he introduces people to people or makes things happen. You know. And I just sort of assumed that he'd be meeting with someone. Maybe there was someone already in the house. Maybe.
There could have been more people could have came in afterwards. I imagine. I was only there for about an hour.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you'd like me to do? I appreciate being able to come in here and have hot meals, but I don't want to keep coming in here if I'm not doing anything for you in return.
Yeah, roll a persuasion check.
Let's take that one.
Yeah, that is a good pursuit.
I would like to remind
7.
you all that you get like one advantage an episode, and none
Oh,
of you use it ever.
I forgot. You know what? I'll use it. I'll use it now.
Excellent.
19.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I will take it. Okay. Yeah. So he looks back and says, "Yeah. Well, we've got all sorts of work, and like it's you're a good Chalestran, so we want to like make sure that you're put to work and that you have a good job. That's what we really want here, right? It's just that like
Of course.
everyone should be able to like have a place in the world, like just a way of existing where they can live off the sweat of their own back, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we just don't, that's really what we want, right? We don't want, we should be looking out for our own and making sure that our own are taken care of. We don't want people to get in rough situations like you,
I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've got legitimate work, of course. I can put you to work in the warehouse upstairs in the Season Brace. Loading and unloading boxes, basically. That sort of thing, if you want. But I don't know. You did a pretty good job trailing Hubert Songshore.
That is my forte. I admit I have a bit of a taste for the unusual.
Nope.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think you're a serial killer.
We can,
That's me.
Murder basin.
I'm Jack the
It's
Ripper.
just gonna fit right into the murder basin. It's great. I don't know what we were so worried about.
yeah. Okay. Well, we can definitely make that work. There's all sorts of people who need to be what's the word? Watched or I don't know. Taken care of. If you get my
Right.
drift.
Mm.
Yeah, I
They
get
definitely
what you
think you're a serial killer.
Yeah. I mean, I think we'll stick with watching for now. We want to make sure when we move, when the movement moves, when things start happening, we want to be poised for action.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. We want to like find people who are gonna be against us, people who aren't gonna be willing to help us, people who are gonna oppose Primarch Magli Blackice's great reforms to this country, right? The things that he's gonna get done, and we want to make sure that we can like strike at the heart of all of them at the same time, so that we can really get somewhere.
Definitely.
Yeah. You know anyone like that? Anyone that we should be keeping an eye on? Someone we should be watching for?
Oh, I would not know such a thing. I've been on the streets. I'm not really.
Well, how'd you
in
lose your
touch.
job? Who took your job?
Who took my job? Well, there just was not a good market for it. At the time, I didn't start out with
Nah,
much
that's
money.
the story that they want you to tell. That's the story that they are like convincing you to tell, right? I know. Hey, it's just me. It's Asthma here, right? Yeah. Like, I get it. I've been there, right? You didn't just lose your job, right? Someone took your job.
Don't know what you mean.
Well, what did you do before? What were you before? I think you told me, but I don't remember.
Oh, I simply sold trinkets, baubles. It was nothing big. It wasn't something I was passionate about.
Sure, but like there are trinket sellers up and down the block right now, right? But they ran you out of business, right?
Maybe they did.
Yeah.
I didn't flourish.
Yeah,
I did
so
not flourish.
you gotta watch them, right? Watch those people, right? Just an elf shows up and starts selling stuff, and like they're expected to just accomplish things, right? Just sort of like they just get leniency, get help because they're poor. No, it's like we should be helping each other. So like, I don't know, maybe it wasn't anyone specific, but like something like got you stuck here. I don't know. Maybe we should be looking into like maybe some of those organizations that, like charity groups, right? That are like helping people that aren't Chalestrin, you know?
I see. All right. Well, I think I follow what you're saying.
Yeah, I bet you do. You're a good sort.
Okay.
And
Okay.
like, wait here 1 minute. Yeah, Randall.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
and she
Oh
stands
my
up
god, poor Kaz.
and she walks to a door and knocks quietly on the door, and the door opens, and she like holds a finger up to you, just 1 minute, and then closes the door, right? And then nothing. And then one of the other people here says, "Ooh, you're in for it now, Randall," and starts laughing. And then like a bunch of people in the room start laughing. And
Oh boy.
one of them sort of comes up to you and says, "Hey, I just wanted you to know that I'm really excited to like meet you and get a chance to work with you." And he like reaches out to shake your hand.
Oh, yep, of course. And I shake his hand.
Yeah, I'm Tommen, and I'm around here a lot, but it'll be I hope we get to a chance to work together, okay?
I sure hope so too, Tommen.
Yeah, and if Asma pushes too hard, just let me know. Like she's a hard seller. I get that. You know, it's okay.
I
Sorry.
appreciate that.
Yeah, and then the door opens and Asma comes back out, and she walks to you, and she's got a hand behind her back. She says, "Okay, are you ready for this?"
As ready as I possibly could be, yeah.
And she pulls out her hand, and in it is a cupcake.
What?
And she offers it to you.
Oh, wow.
And there's a symbol in the icing.
Oh, okay. What
Of-
does it look like?
4 links of a chain with the outer links broken.
Okay, 4 links of a chain. Okay.
What?
Huh.
What?
That's some fancy frosting work you got on
Yeah,
here.
it's for our freedom. You know?
Yeah, powerful imagery right there. I kind of don't want to eat it.
Ah, it's a cupcake, man. Gotta eat a cupcake. It's good.
Tell you what, I'll save it for later.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't want to ruin this right now. I want to look at it for a bit longer.
Okay, man. Well, you know, hey, it's your call.
All right.
Uh,
Okay.
You come down here whenever you need a meal, and Asma, she points and she says, "There's a board over there, right?" And she points at the board. She says, "It's empty right now, but sometimes jobs come in, right? Things come in, and you can always go there and pick up a job, and whatever you want to do, you do it, and there's usually some money involved. Okay? We take care of our own here."
Yeah. Of course. Naturally. Yep. I will do that. I will do that for sure. I appreciate everything you've done for me so far. And hey, just one more thing.
Mhm.
You think you'd mind if I maybe drop by sometime to work just up in the season brace? You know, money gets kind of tight in between.
Oh yeah, sure, of course, man. We look out for our own. We'll find something for you. Yeah, no worries. We'll find something for you. The owners are super nice, right? They're really friendly to us, and like, you know, we may have to push for things every once in a while, but there are sort of people, right? They're with us.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. Well, Asma, I appreciate what you've done. I feel like my life is gonna turn around from here on out.
That's the idea, right? We're here to help you, right? We want you to feel good about everything.
And then just kind of tight lip smile. Take a look at the job board. Is there anything on there yet?
No.
Okay. Well, nice seeing you. Just leave.
Yep.
Gotta go.
And,
I love how awkward like Kaz is as the Randall persona, but it works for Randall really, really well.
Yeah.
I know, it's so perfect. Oh god. Roll a perception check for me, please, on your way out, Nia.
Alrighty. 4.
Oh,
Okay.
dang, girl.
Big
Excellent.
4.
You hear nothing
Cool.
on your way out. But you've got your cupcake.
I forgot my cupcake.
No, you've got your cupcake. So you have.
Oh, I was like, no, I would never put it down. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to just, I'm gonna, hopefully everyone's still at the Soulwood Tavern, and I just go back there, show everyone the cupcake, say, someone want to sketch this down real quick before saying anything else?
Anyone autistic?
I have a lot of paper. Hold on. So I'm gonna get out a scrap of paper from my spell book. That's the notebook, and I'm gonna try to draw it.
Yeah, it's not hard to draw. In fact, it's kind of designed to be easily replicable.
Okay. So I draw it, and then I fold the paper a little bit so that we can hand it off.
As soon as she has that done, Kaz turns around, walks out with the cupcake, and throws it as hard as she can against the ground, and then just kind of stomps it into the dirt.
I'm not a part of your system.
Happy birthday to the ground.
Happy birthday, ground.
Oh yeah.
Cell phone's not my dad. What's a cell phone?
I'm an adult.
This sending spell's not my dad. Sorry.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
Okay.
Thomas is
want
well
your
into his
stinking
cups by
cupcake.
now.
Okay. Excellent. So I don't think we have time to launch the Season Brace thing today, but I know that some of you have had little side things that you want to do or things like that. This would be a great opportunity to pull a little side thing or two. I think we can pull it off before we call it for the night.
Okay.
Anyone that you want to meet with or chat with, have a scene with. If you can find an excuse to bring a PC with you, I would be grateful. But if you cannot, that is also fine as well.
Let's see. Well, the person I would want to meet, I can't, so I'm gonna just pass on that one.
You sure?
I mean, would there be a way? No, probably not.
Potentially.
Maybe potentially, yeah.
You want to try?
Sure, but how would I go about it? I mean, I would just be like sending another letter.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. I mean, this could be the moment where in game you actually write the letter. Did we already write the letter? In game?
I haven't written it yet. Yeah.
Wow, we're talking in code. This is super secret. Sorry guys, I don't mean to be talking in code. Juniper has a patron who is interested and helped set her up with the Order of the Ocean, and Juniper has a desire to check in with them.
Yeah.
So.
So yeah, I'm just gonna write a letter, very briefly, just to be like, lots of things happened, both personal and not. Probably best to say in person. Not that I want you to, mess up your schedule or anything, or go out of your way, because I understand that you're very busy, and that's totally understandable. But if you find the time, or you're in the area or something, it might be a thing that needs to happen, because wow. And I hope you're doing good, and that things are well, and and you're and then I would write several versions of like, with great affection, or yours obediently, or various, like, and erase it, but you could still kind of see bits and pieces of it. And then I just kind of like scrawl Juniper and send the letter on.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Wonderful.
What happened to BlackBerry?
I would
Is
like
he
to
still
know how
chilling
We
to
in
left him at
Thomas's house?
Thomas's.
Mhm.
He's living it up. He's fine.
Okay.
He probably went job hunting or something, but he knows he can get back. Thomas
Mhm.
would have been like, "Hey, you can get in this way."
Yeah, do you want to chat with him?
I might want to chat with him a little bit.
Let's do it.
Just to see how he's doing.
Mm-hmm. So you go over to Thomas's to check in on him?
Yeah. Like, well, how's the everything going here? I know Thomas is a
Great.
lot.
Oh my god, the food here is so delicious. It's just so tasty. And like there's crumbs coming down Blackberry snout from a muffin that they're eating. I mean, people get a little like touchy when you take their food, but it's so tasty. I don't understand why they wouldn't, just God, I would eat this stuff all the time.
Oh, I know. Seriously. Yeah, like the first time I had something like that, I think I cried. I maybe cried. I probably cried.
Yeah, I can understand that. I just had another one. And he, like, stuffs another muffin in his mouth. And then, like, you want one? And offers you a muffin.
I think I might pass on that
Okay,
one.
and he just stuffs it back in his mouth.
Wow.
Like, keeps eating.
Okay, yeah, you're just going for it. Well, it makes sense. They put you in a cage for a long time.
And they didn't feed me very well. They gave me
I can
these small,
imagine.
like, pellet things. They weren't food-like. Ugh.
Oh my god!
Gross.
That's awful.
So, like, I have a question.
Mm.
Back in, I'm pronouncing it terribly wrong, but Sunara?
Sunara.
Yeah, back in Sunara, did you, you knew a lot of fox folk in that area, right? I mean, there's
Couple.
a lot of us there. A couple.
Yeah. I mean, we keep to ourselves largely, but, it's
Yeah.
a tribal community and all that good stuff. I was more friends with elves than I was with foxfolk, but there were foxfolk in our tribe.
Yeah, same here. Wait, you have anyways, you had a tribe, but I thought you said you hung out with, elves.
Yeah.
Okay.
An elven tribe.
Oh, okay.
Most of the elven
gotcha.
tribe have some foxfolk. We sort of adopt them. You know how elves are. They can't really look after themselves without foxfolk help,
Oh, no, God, yeah, they're useless.
Yeah, they're so big and bulky, and they walk through things, and everyone sees them all the time. They're like, hello, you could hide,
Yeah. Yeah, and they leave just ridiculous messes. They're always being
Everywhere.
they always look oh, we're so ethereal, we're so beautiful. And then you see one of their bathrooms, no, thank you.
I
No,
know,
thank you.
says Blackberry as there are crumbs all over it.
But with the fox folk that you've seen, have there ever been cases and pardon me if this seems indecent, and she's just going to lift the back of the skirt just enough
My lady,
to
I
show
don't want to see that.
just no, just a few inches to show the second tail and be like, is that a thing that happens?
Oh, you were never. Oh, you're not. You've never really been home, have you?
Well, I mean, I didn't really grow up with any
Yes.
fox folk, and I never really had the chance to, busy life.
Oh, yes, of course, my dear. I'm so sorry. I didn't. Well, yes, it's perfectly natural for some foxfolk to gain additional tails. Why,
Covers your face. It's not
even
puberty, is it? I thought I
have-
went through that already.
Oh no, it's a sign, a physical sign of magical talents, wisdom, and
Oh.
and years of experience.
What?
In fact, there's even a one of our tribal leaders. Her name is Raspberry.
Oh my god.
She has 8 tails.
What?
Yes.
How do you balance?
Well, you see, they all sort of balance on their own a little bit, and they're all real, but they're sort of like a conduit for I don't know. I don't really know much about the magical side of things, but I believe what I was told as a child is that they're a conduit for magical energies.
Huh.
And so, like, the more magical you are, the more you need to tap into these things and make it happen, as it were.
Oh. Wait, so it's just gonna keep happening?
Well, I mean, at some point you'll cap out. Most people can't. Most people don't have the ability to gain extra tails. Most people don't have that sort of magic. And even when they can, most people stop at like 2. Maybe 3 at the most. Like 3 would be a pretty powerful foxfolk. Yeah, that would be a lot of foxfolk.
Yeah, but like I can't be on the way to powerful. I mean, there must have been a terrible mistake.
Quite possible. I don't really know anything about it. I could write home and see what anyone says, or if you would like, we could take a pilgrimage together. I mean, I'm kind of enjoying Chelestra here, I have to admit. Racy, this is a beautiful city. I'm enjoying living on the coast, I have to admit. There's something nice about not being in the forest all the time, although I do miss the forests too. But we could take a trip and maybe speak to Raspberry. She's the wisest of all foxfolk and quite aged, and I'm sure that she could provide insight as to it's one of those things, where like the magical folk, they had their own. I was never magically inclined,
Yeah. No, I didn't think that I would be either. But it comes to you. Yeah, that might be nice eventually, but I do have a lot of work to do here, and but thank you. Maybe in the future, once I need to explore the city a little bit too, honestly.
Yes, I totally understand. I have a question for you, actually, a favor.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about like, baking?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, why?
Well, listen, don't tell Thomas, because I'm so grateful for, like, all his hospitality, and he's been so wonderful.
What has he done to the kitchen?
And, and, no, nothing. And, look, I admit that I'm a little bit of a fish out of water here. I don't fully understand, fish out of water is not the metaphor you use. I'm a tree out of its bark here. I don't fully understand how things work. And there's these weird concepts here. These things like, what do you call it?
Jobs.
Money. Jobs.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, listen, the baker was very nice, and he decided not to, I'm sorry, I didn't get the word rest with me, or something like that.
Oh, yeah, that's a rest. That's where they put you in a bigger cage, but that's allowed now.
And he looks at you
it's
with
only
like
for like a day.
Horror on his little foxy face. He's like,
yeah, it's like for a day, and then you have to spend a lot of money to get out, and it's really inconvenient. But they don't keep you there. I know, it's pretty heinous. Yeah, it's legal.
Oh. Well, I'm really, really quite glad that didn't happen.
Yeah.
But so the baker gave me all these muffins, which of course you're welcome to have some. And you look down, like it's a box that like fits 12 muffins, and there's like a half of a muffin left.
Aww.
And he gave this to me instead of arresting me, right? And you hear him like change words into the other language. A little bit, just and pops back, and it's well, he agreed not to do that, but I was kind of wondering if I could get a job in a bakery.
Yeah, no, that might be really good for you. If you don't know how to bake, the people downstairs where I live, they do have an oven that's a lot better than mine, and sometimes I can use it if they're not home. And I know a little bit of baking because I used to help out, in the kitchens when I was younger, because you need something to do, and and it helps you, gain discipline. And if you want, I can show you how to. I can make cookies. I know how to make cookies, and I've made a cake before. I made a birthday cake for someone once, and it was terrible, and it was the worst day of my life. But then I did it way better next time. Yeah, I can teach you how to bake, maybe.
Wonderful! I'm so excited. I really am excited. I have no idea what cookie or cake is, but I am very excited.
Awesome. Oh man, if you have not had a cookie before, prepare for your mind to be blown. Oh,
It can't be better than a muffin.
Oh, it's so much better than a muffin. It has chocolate
this muffin,
in it.
And he picks up this muffin and he says, "This muffin is named after me."
Oh, that's true.
And then he eats the muffin.
Juniper is slightly touched. But yeah, she agrees to give him baking lessons.
Wonderful.
But before it ends, though, she is going to ask, has Tom seemed a little different to you? I mean, I know you haven't met him, you haven't seen him that much, but like...
I met him yesterday.
Yeah, that's true. Huh. Has he...
And I haven't seen him all day today. He was out.
Okay. All right. Okay, then.
Doing
I'm sure he's fine. But yeah, okay, so she agrees to do the bakery job. Or bakery teaching.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's going to teach him how to make cookies. It's going to be great.
Wonderful.
Oh my
God. Does anyone else have anything that they want to do briefly?
Kaz, you want to learn how to play bullshit?
Oh my God, please.
Bullshit. A game? Never heard of it, but it sounds great.
All right, it's a game about lying, Kaz. Do you think you're up to the task?
Me? Lying? I'm great at that. Yes.
You're touching your hair again.
No, I'm not.
as they let go of their hair.
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh,
Okay,
poor
let's have a
Kaz.
deception roll off between the two of you.
All right. All right. So as this happens, Kaz or Sawin explains the rule of the game.
Mhm.
All right. So what ends up happening is we place down cards in ascending order.
Mhm.
So we start with 1, and we go all the way up to aces. Or you start with aces rather, and then because that's 1, and then you go all the way up to kings. And you have to figure out whether or not the other person's lying or not. So
Okay.
you're going to say you're going to put down X amount of cards. So for instance, what I'm putting down right now is 3 aces.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh, honey.
Okay.
So
So-
then you would tell me how many 2s you were laying down.
Okay. And then do what you just did right there.
Yeah. We're placing the cards face down so we can't see them. And if we think if somebody's lying, we say bullshit and we flip over the cards.
I think Garhuk is joining you for this.
Okay.
Garhaz,
Yeah.
let's do it. Yeah. Garhaz, you want in on this? It's more fun with more people.
I mean,
All right then. 3 2s. Oh,
Bullshit.
Man. That's a natural one right there. Oh, you got me.
and the game continues. And I think that's where we're gonna call it for the night, guys.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
I love it. Not one bullshit.
That tracks.
Oh god,
That's beautiful. I love it.
I love
Kaz
it too.
is so cute. I love her.
I love everyone.
She's the best.
Everyone
Kaz is the best. Oh my God.
Everyone is
That-
wonderful.
That was
Oh.
so like that so-called like break-in heist stakeout thing was possibly the best.
Yep.
Oh my
man.
God.
I'm sure there will be more of that from everyone.
Okay, let's do our round robin for advantage. Does anyone not have advantage? Has anyone spent their advantage?
I have
I
not
did.
spent mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've not spent mine.
I spent mine.
Okay. Well, Kaz, do you feel like there's any character that you got to know better?
player characters, no. No, not this time, no.
Okay, fair enough. Perfectly reasonable. Excellent. Let's go to experience points. 0.1 for everyone. I need to check this stuff. I need to be paying better attention.
You know what I didn't do?
Oh my god. Sorry, I just saw the Discord.
Yeah, it's
I
okay.
totally love that. Sorry.
I just missed everything that happened because I had to go to the bathroom. I'm really sorry,
No, we're good.
guys.
We're
You
wrapping
didn't
up.
miss anything, I swear.
We're wrapping up.
It sounded like we were doing all of the like end of game stuff.
That's-
No,
like
we
it came in at the
literally
very end.
Just started as you came back. You missed nothing.
Seriously. You didn't
I was
miss
teaching Kaz how to play bullshit.
There's something I wanted Thomas to do too, but maybe we can do it next.
We'll
time.
start next time with that. Is that okay?
Okay.
Actually, let's finish it now. Let's do it now.
No,
I take it back.
it's
No,
okay.
let's do it now.
It's okay.
Let's do it now.
Okay.
We're gonna go slightly over time.
sorry.
I don't care. I like going.
I feel super whiny about it now.
Whatever makes you most comfortable. I am super happy to do it now. If you would feel more comfortable doing it next time, though, then that is also fine.
Let's do it next time.
Okay,
'Cause Now
sounds
it feels weird. Sorry.
No worries. Question 1. Did you learn something about Magli, his conspirators, or his servants?
Yeah.
Yes.
Boy, howdy.
Yes. Why
Oh,
don't we all
boy.
take an experience point for that?
We fell in it.
Yep.
That's how much there was.
Literally.
Did you express your character's class, species, or background in a meaningful or impactful way? Nominations for your friends, of course, allowed.
Well, I think Thomas's whole thing with we wouldn't have discovered nearly as much without that, having the pseudo dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think that was huge.
Yeah, that was big.
That was
Absolutely.
the game changer.
Yeah.
Yep. I was perfectly willing for you guys not to learn anything about that conversation. And then Thomas is like, nope, we're going to learn it.
Sometimes if you want a job done right, you've got to send a tiny animal into harm's way.
Exactly.
Of course.
Just a note,
Didn't
this
have to
stream
write
does
that
not
down.
condone animal cruelty.
Fortunately, pseudo dragons aren't animals, and neither are foxful, because we've discussed previously.
So sending in fox folk is fine.
I
Those
have
are
no
my
comment.
animals.
Okay.
I feel
Samhain.
like every time Samhain gets these freakishly accurate tarot readings, she get a point for his background being super relevant.
I strongly agree. I'm down. Samhain, take that point.
That was so great.
God,
That was amazing.
that was high comedy
That
right
was
there.
amazing. Oh, man.
All from a freaking random app, man.
I'm scared of that app. I am
How
scared
random
of
is
that
it,
app.
though?
It is not random. It is just true. It is just true.
Witchcraft.
Any moments for Juniper? Anyone feel like she expressed her
Absolutely.
What's your example?
Let's.
I mean, I have a big
Go
one
ahead,
that was
Sarah.
recurring
Sorry.
throughout the entire episode, but Sarah, please take it.
No, go for it.
No, please, you.
No, please, I've talked a lot.
Okay. I think all episode Juniper was getting into trouble over the course of curiosity and concern about growing a second tail. That seems like expressing
Yes.
the species very, very well.
Yeah.
And I feel like
Yes.
it happened as a recurring theme throughout the episode, so
Sorry,
that experience.
to exquisite effect every time.
hmm
It's a great deal to suddenly experience.
And then, did you express your... sorry, Kaz. Did you express your character's class, species, or background in an impactful or meaningful way?
Well, none of those disguise segments would have been possible had she not been an Asimar, because that's not
my
like
God,
a
yes.
paladin spell,
Yeah.
a cleric spell.
Yep, I strongly agree. I think that's definitely... Your people, right, are... in general, they when they come out into the world, they hide themselves. They don't share their real identity with people. And so the act of hiding yourself is an important thing.
Yeah.
And then question 3, did you overcome a meaningful obstacle or impediment to your character? This can be personal growth or knowledge or defeating something big. I see 1 here, obviously. But I could see others potentially. I don't know. Anyone? It's really your call whether you feel that your character has done this. We'll go around backwards. Kaz.
Not this episode. Nope.
Okay. Juniper.
I don't know. I think she's learning more about herself and kind of coming to, like engaging with other fox folk, which she hasn't really done before.
Yeah.
She hasn't really sought that out before. And seeking help despite the fact that she's trying to do everything on her own. So at least from her mentor. So maybe potentially.
I think so. Yeah, I think the uncovering of the secret behind your tail was significant character moment for me. We'll see what that amounts to in the future, right? I think that there could be a lot of changes in the future, but I would take that experience point. Sawan?
We're still waiting on things from earlier episodes to come up, but they haven't come up again. So
Yeah, that's
I'll
unfortunate.
have to
We'll have to make that happen.
Yeah, so I'll have to say no for Sawin.
Okay. And Thomas?
Impediments were certainly introduced. You know what? No, I feel like no, but that was already a point. Well, please help me. I mean, if you remember something that I don't.
Oh, Shiana, your daughter.
That's more a discovery, though. That's not That's not an impediment that he has overcome yet.
Because kicking the door in isn't exactly in his nature. On several levels there. He eventually drank some kombucha. No, I'm kidding.
Great personal risk.
That's great. Okay, yeah, so no point this time.
I don't know about that, but I wouldn't say Thomas this time, but I would say that Kaz would have probably overcome an impediment by, like, chilling in a den of very radicalized people discussing very not good topics and not going ape shit on them long enough to, like, for the first, not the first time the episode, because she had a good initial conversation before it went a little sideways, but she held it together long enough to accomplish something, and that required her to overcome possibly what her first instincts would have been.
Yeah,
do you think those were your first instincts, Kaz?
Oh yeah, no, I was struggling for sure.
Based on the cupcake explosion,
I strongly agree.
I just assumed.
Absolutely, I strongly agree. Kaz, I would love you to take that point. I agree with that. I really do.
Yeah.
Strongly.
Yeah, initially I was just gonna say, yeah, Kaz is gonna go have like 10 drinks.
Nope, destroying the cupcake was so bad. Perfectness. I loved it. Many great moments. And I would like to get rid of the alignment question. I don't think we need it.
Okay.
All right.
I was originally planning on replacing it with something else, since it has never come up, since you're all good people, and I am uninterested in sort of pushing things in that direction. It might come up later, but I'm not interested now, at least, in pushing things in that direction. So I'm just going to get rid, and like, I don't feel the need to progress things too quickly. So I don't feel the need to have a fourth question. I think 3 might be enough for us. Does that sound reasonable to everyone?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. Well then, that is our stream today, guys. Hope everyone enjoyed the stream. We had a good time. I had a good time. I hope everyone who played had a good time. Everyone who's watching, thank you so much for hanging out and watching us. Please come back next week, or also on Thursday, or both, or all the time. I'm also planning on doing a one-shot or 2 here in some other systems. And if you're interested in playing, let me know. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to break out some funky systems and explore some things. Just to explore with some one-shot stuff, add a little bit more content to the channel, and have some fun and all that good stuff. Okay. Everyone have a good night, and call your mother. She's probably awesome. Take care.
Good night.
And we are